Good Lord have mercy. The NFL trade deadline was seismic for the New York Jets. There's a lot of deals that happened. There's a lot to get through, a lot of motions to get through, and a lot of draft picks for the New York Jets. We'll talk about all of it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's the good word, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We are sifting through the carnage. You see the two jerseys, R.I.P. They're not dead, but they are to Jet fans. Not in a bad way. I mean, we could get into that too, but we got Sauce Gardner over here. He's an Indianapolis Colt. What in the world? Quentin Williams. He's a Dallas Cowboy. And we saw last week Michael Carter II got moved to the Eagles. Less seismic. And there's a bunch of trades that almost happened, but didn't happen. We'll get into that today as well. Make sure you guys like the video if you're watching on YouTube and hit subscribe. We've got a full article in the YouTube description down below. And the topic du jour today, we'll also get into the other trades. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll do all that here on the program. Well, Breece Hall was almost traded to the Chiefs. Kansas City offered the New York Jets a fourth-round draft choice in 2026. The Jets said, interesting. We want a third. And Kansas City said, nah, we good. Man, well, that's what happened. And it was an awkward staring contest to the deadline. The Jets had their price, and they weren't going to move off their price, and the Chiefs thought the Jets were going to bend the knee, and guess what? Spoiler alert, they didn't. Now, it is a fair point, and Breece Hall even liked this post on social media. Someone tweeted out, wait a second, the Chiefs will give up a third for Kadarius Toney, but they draw the line at Breece Hall? And Breece Hall liked that post on social media. Someone screenshot it and showed it to the universe. So, you know, we could blame this team or that team for not pulling the trigger, but the Chiefs are the ones that did not pay the premium price. And while there's a lot of emotions that go into moving players of these magnitude, we'll go through all the trades today on the show, and a sneaky one they got in at the buzzer that was reported much later. I told you guys that could happen. We'll talk about those ripple effects and impacts. But I will say this. Breece Hall has me in a tough place as a Jets fan at this current moment in time. He has me in a tough place. And here's why. So the Jets trade Sauce Gardner. They trade Quentin Williams. And that signals a massive rebuild coming for the New York Jets. You know, when you Sauce was the one who got traded first. He gets traded first, and then it's Quentin. And then you're like, oh, boy, who else could be moved? And I'm like, all right. And then I'm seeing all the players on social media. They're like, you know, Jet players. They're like posting memes and GIFs and emojis. And, you know, they're reacting as we're reacting to the NFL trade deadline. And Breece Hall was particularly active on social media. And some weird stuff happened. I'm going to be candid. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but I explain it in the article down below with the tweet, so it'll make even more sense. But Kurt Benkert. I don't know if you guys know who that is. You may not. He was a backup quarterback in the league for 5-6 years. He was Aaron Rodgers' backup at one point in his career. And now he's sort of influencer, analyst, whatever you want to call that. Kurt Benkert. And well, Kurt tweets out yesterday. He tweets out yesterday that Breece Hall ain't getting traded per sources. Now, I didn't know Kurt Benkert was an NFL insider, but nonetheless, he said Breece Hall ain't getting traded at one point yesterday. Let me get the specifics because I have all the timestamps in the article. Kurt Benkert. This is where, again, it just sort of got weird, man. I'm going to be honest. So at 1:55 yesterday, right? Trade deadline's at 4. At 1:55, Kurt Benkert posts on Twitter, Jets running back Breece Hall is not expected to be traded today per sources. And we're like, all right, you're not an NFL insider, so that's sort of weird. I don't care what you have to say. 43 minutes later, Benkert goes back to social media and posts this update. Quote, Jets running back Breece Hall would like a fresh start as of last night. They weren't expecting to move him, but right now the Jets have multiple offers on the table. We will find out soon. They have until 4 Eastern time per source. And we're like, where the hell did that come from? Well, people, and now I'm going to read the quote from NYJ Matt. For those on Twitter, you guys, of course, know who this is. He's the host and co-host of the Broadway Jets podcast. And he explained what happened because we were in the middle of doing all our Boy Green Meets Woody prep. So I missed this, but I'm glad that NYJ Matt told the story of what happened after those two tweets. So a lot of people start calling out Benkert on social media saying, you don't have sources. What are you talking about? This is what NYJ Matt said on the Broadway Jets podcast. Quote, he tweets out a picture of him DMing with Breece Hall, and then he deletes that tweet. So it really appears that Breece Hall DM'd Kurt Benkert. It was like, hey, I do actually want to get traded, and then leverage Benkert to put it into the Twitter sphere of that he needs to be moved. There's offers on the table and all that crap. And NYJ Matt says, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, that can't happen. So long story short, all that gizmo gadget conversation I just brought up on the show is that Breece Hall wanted to be traded, went to some random guy, Kurt Benkert, who the hell? It went to him and said, hey, you want to keep pumping out that I want to be traded and see if we could get some social media support behind it? What are we doing, Breece? That just seems super weird. And here's this. Now, this has not been substantiated by Connor Hughes, who said he saw the report, but he's not been able to confirm it. But Breece Hall apparently requested a trade. And NFL insider Jordan Schultz said that Breece Hall wants out. And this was reported before the trade deadline to try to, I imagine, move the rock down the hill to say, hey, man, I want out. You're moving him. You're moving him. Like, let's go. I want to be traded. So, and now, of course, Breece Hall is not traded. Breece Hall is still a member of the Jets. So that could get awkward in the locker room with all this hoopla. I hope it doesn't. But I've been seeing it in the comment section. Jared B says, oh, you guys get Jared B and others in the comment section saying, hey, you can franchise tag him, you can keep him and all that stuff. And that's what I would say. Now that you've done what you've done, right? So a couple of players that could have been moved that didn't get moved. Breece Hall didn't get moved. Jermaine Johnson didn't get moved. Quincy Williams didn't get moved. We'll put Jermaine aside for a second because he's under team control through 2026 anyway. Breece Hall and Quincy are not. They are expiring contracts. And you only have one franchise tag to use, and you're probably not using it on a linebacker who's about to be 30 when you're paying Jamie what you're paying him. So if the franchise tag is going to be used on anyone, and I'm not sure it is, but if it is, it's going to be on Breece Hall because you're going to prevent him from hitting the open market. Breece Hall, for those who don't know, is on pace for the best rushing season of his career this year. He is on pace for 1,200 rushing yards. He, by the way, has never had 1,000 rushing yards in a season. So he's on pace for the best rushing season of his career. And if he finishes in that pace with 1,200 yards rushing and he's like top 5, top 6 in rushing yards on a season, which he'd definitely be in that conversation, well, you know, maybe the Jets could keep Breece. Maybe they could turn this all around and extend him instead, because by not trading him, you don't just want to hope for a comp pick in 2027, especially with the spending the Jets are likely to do in free agency. It just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. So for the rest of this season, the Jets are going to run Breece Hall through a rock, and he's the guy, and hopefully Garrett Wilson returns this week. We'll speak with AG later today. But you just run Breece through a rock, and you get as much as you can out of him this year, and then we got to make some business decisions in the offseason. The Jets will have plenty of money to franchise tag Breece Hall if that's what they choose to do. That total is projected to be over $14 million. So we'll see what happens there. I see we got a membership being gifted. MFC, baby. Here we go. Appreciate you, MFC. Thank you very much. Guys, make sure you guys keep those memberships flowing here on the program because we've got a terrific giveaway. By the way, that membership went to David Bruce. David Bruce, you're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Mother Effing Chew for making that possible, baby. Absolutely appreciate it. MFC, you now have 5 raffle tickets for the contest this month, which is, I believe, the 6th on our leaderboard. So very nice. Thank you, MFC, for that. And it is a nice little tie there with Uncle Tio and Aunt Jet's 82. So nice. That is updated on the banner. By the way, real quick, I'll give you guys a quick plug. Our raffle this month is absolutely spectacular. It's an absolute treat, and it is simply this. It is an autographed Marty Lyons jersey. Okay, Marty Lyons autographed college jersey. He has all his Jets accomplishments there on the bottom. He was a first-round pick. He's in the College Hall of Fame. He's part of the New York Sack Exchange, former NFL Man of the Year, Jets Ring of Honor player. And he signed a special inscription on this jersey to the Boy Green Coffee Club, to our YouTube membership group. So shout out to Marty Lyons and the Marty Lyons Foundation. We really appreciate it. So if you guys want a chance to win this beautiful jersey, we're giving it away on December 1st, which means the entire month of November, you can send in your raffle tickets. MFC gifted a channel membership. That's one way to get a raffle ticket. You can send in your super chat questions, super stickers. Do you have Sauce Gardner questions, Quinton Williams questions, Quincy Williams questions, Breece Hall questions, Jermaine Johnson questions? What's next? How about Cleveland Browns questions? Oh, you have the Jets play a game this week. Let us know. Let it fly. We can answer your super chat questions, and you can get raffle tickets for the Marty Lyons giveaway. So make sure y'all take full advantage, baby, and show your support. And I will say, a sad part, though, is yesterday was my son's birthday, which is not sad. That's terrific. That's great. I'm glad that my son turned 1. He was wearing a Sauce Gardner jersey yesterday. Sauce Gardner jersey. And now that jersey is no longer bueno. Unfortunate. Hey, we've got a YouTube super chat coming through from my boy EZ. Every time I get a super chat here on the show, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
EZ with the $2 super chat. You bet your buns. Yes. He asked, could they franchise tag Breece, then trade him next year? Yes. So here's the choices for the Jets. Now that the trade deadline's over and Breece Hall still a Jet, here's the Jets' choice. So they could just let him walk in free agency, say, we're not franchise tagging you. See you, pal. Go to some other team. And he goes to some other team and signs for somewhat sizable money, and the Jets cross their fingers, say, ooh, hope we get a comp pick next year. Not 2026. That would be in 2027. That's not guaranteed because the signings you make can cancel out signings of players that leave you. So that makes it risky. But that's one path they could take. Path number 2, they could franchise tag Breece and just say, hey, man, you're our guy. We're going to keep you on the franchise tag. We're not going to negotiate with you, and we're just going to ride you for 2026, and that'd be good for a young quarterback of the Jets draft one. Okay, there's actually 4 options here. Okay, let's go. So, again, number 1, they could just let Breece Hall walk in free agency. So be it. Go to some other team. We'll hopefully get a comp pick. Number 2, Jets franchise tag him and say, hey, you're just playing on the franchise tag, buddy, and we're just going to run you into the ground. Then you can be a free agent 2027 and see ya. And if you have another great year, maybe we'll franchise tag you again. Who knows? Option number 3, you franchise tag Breece to extend the window of negotiation. So if Breece Hall does not get tagged by the Jets, he'll be a free agent in March. However, if the Jets place a franchise tag on Breece, they'll have exclusive negotiating rights through July before the franchise tag contract extension window closes. So that means the Jets can talk to him and no one else in the league can. So that could buy them more time to work on a long-term deal if that exists. So that's option number 3. And then option number 4 is what EZ just provides here in the chat. That you franchise tag him and you trade him to the highest bidder. Hey, we're not just going to give you away for free. We're going to franchise tag you. We're going to trade you to another team. And probably when you find that other team, let's call them the Chiefs since the Chiefs were interested this time around. So the Jets franchise tag Breece Hall in the offseason coming up in a couple of months. They reach out to the Chiefs, say, hey, you can negotiate. So first off, me and you, let's talk about what that price is. A 3rd-round pick, let's say. They go back to the table and say a 3rd-round pick. Okay, a 3rd-round pick. Now, Chiefs, you can go negotiate with Breece Hall, work out a long-term deal right now, and that'll be a part of the trade. So the Jets could do that, easy. They could do that indeed. And again, I believe there are 4 options the Jets can pull the trigger on as it pertains to this moving forward. And we'll see what they decide to do from that perspective. So, those are the options the Jets have on the table. at least for this year, Breece Hall should be an exciting player for the Jets. He's coming off a really good game. So, hey, man, give us something to cheer about. A lot of people seem upset about Breece Hall staying or not. Some people are on both sides of the coin. Interesting. Let's see your other comments and whatnot coming in here. Danny in real life. Let's go to my buddy on Twitter. Best case scenario is a comp pick for Breece and Jermaine. Can't see either of them come back for a 2 or 3 year rebuild. Need a quarterback. That uncertainty isn't attractive to young vets. Couple of things here. First off, Jermaine is under contract for 2026, so no comp pick required for that. So Jermaine ain't going anywhere. Breece, we could talk about a comp pick. Let me do a quick pivot here on Jermaine because Jermaine stayed. And Jermaine put a very passionate statement out on social media. Let me highlight it here because I think it's worth discussing here on the show. So Jermaine, and maybe we'll talk about more about this tomorrow because we're going to have to split up all these conversations going all over the place here on the show. But apparently, according to NFL insider Albert Breer, the Jets wanted a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson. According to Connor Hughes, the Jets got a second-round pick trade offer on the table, and they still said no. So they wanted a second-round pick. They got a second-round pick. They said, we can't do this. And they rejected whoever offered that trade. Two of the teams that were in the mix, according to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, was the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. So factor that in for whatever you want to factor that in for. So no comp pick required for Jermaine. We don't that part of the conversation doesn't matter. Need a quarterback, obviously, of course. But I would tell you this on old Jermaine, and I'm bringing this up. This is his pinned comment on Twitter. He also posted this yesterday. His response after the NFL trade deadline. There's all kinds of hoopla going around. Let's put this up on the big board here. But appreciate it, Danny. I'm going to put this down. It's Jermaine Johnson yesterday on social media. Quote, I'd be lying if I said I was happy my brothers are gone because I'm not. I'm sick. But I believe strongly in the organization, staff, and my other brothers in the locker room. I said when I got drafted, I wanted to be the reason or part of the reason this thing gets changed for the better, and that's going to continue to be my outlook. I love this team and this fan base, and y'all will continue to get my all, my absolute best on and off the field. Let's look onward and upward because better things are coming, and I give my word on that. Go Jets always. Give this man a lifetime contract extension. I said it before Jermaine came back from his injury this year. I want 53 Jermaine Johnsons on the team. I'm glad the Jets didn't trade him. I'm glad apparently they got the offer they were looking for, and they still said, you know what? No. Draft picks are draft picks. Players are players. And we'll get into the draft picks. We'll get into all that and the positive of those draft picks and all that coming up. We'll get into that, I promise. We actually will have a lot of bonus interviews on the channel, so guys, stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking to a Dallas Cowboys insider to get more on the player the Jets got back and Mozzie Smith and talk about that trade. We're going to have a Indianapolis Colts insider on the show, talk about the Sauce Gardner trade, and then Adonai Mitchell, who they got back. We're going to be talking to an NFL insider who says that the Jets may use these draft picks to not draft a quarterback, but trade for one. We'll have that on the channel. So we have so much overflowing content, and we have a mix of an NFL and an NFL draft analyst joining us. So we're going to have so much content. I hope you guys love it. Okay? And we will. We'll cover every angle of all of this. Because this day yesterday, November 4th, 2025, of course, I'm going to remember it forever. It was my son's 1-year birthday. But all of us are going to remember it forever. This is and this is not hyperbole. This is a date that will change the New York Jets history, whether good or bad. This series of moves of Quinnen and Sauce is going to change the outlook of the New York Jets franchise for better or for worse for the next decade, quite frankly. And we'll see whether that was a good or bad thing. But I'll tell you this, you want guys that you can go to war with. And I want to go to war with Balake here. I want to go to war with Jermaine Johnson. So he's under contract for, obviously, the rest of 2025. He's under contract for 2026. The Jets exercised his fifth-year option back in May. And I hope they extend him this offseason. I love Jermaine. He is part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I love that he wants to change this. He wants to be here. He bleeds green and white. And that revs my friggin' engine, baby. That revs my gosh darn engine. So I love seeing that message from Jermaine Johnson. He is the real MVP and absolutely like the cut of his jib. I am a massive Jermaine Johnson guy. I was before, and I am even more so now. All right, we got a super chat coming in here from my boy NC Green. Good to see you, pal.
Wow.
According to Over the Cap, 2026, $94 million in cap space and $71 million in dead cap money. 2027, $209 million in cap space and no dead money. Yeah, here's the thing that's fascinating, right? So Sauce Gardner gets traded, and it's a gut shot because here's the behind the scenes of what's happening here at my house, right? It's NFL trade deadline day, so I'm by my computer, I'm by my phone. Anything could happen. Now, I didn't think Sauce Gardner was getting traded, but okay. So I'm at the ready. But my daughter, I told you guys yesterday, she has struggled with her speech. And she's about to be 4 here in a couple of months. And so she's working on speech. And the speech we have one computer in the house, it's mine. And I work to take care of the family with this thing. Podcasting, writing, I use this computer every day. But a couple times a week, she does speech with a virtual speech therapist. So she sits in this very chair in the podcasting studio and works on speech. My fiance reminds me, the speech today in the 12-ish range, whatever, 12:30 or something. I'm like, boy, I hope a trade doesn't break because like the only thing I'll be able to do is do some stuff on my phone. Like, I won't be able to write a piece until this speech is over, and this speech is like 30 minutes or something. So there's a window where I'm going to be blocked off. Jets, please don't make a trade during this thing. And then all of a sudden, before you friggin' know it, we get the alert of alerts. And I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, Sauce Gardner was traded. He was on the block. He was available. And then I'm just freaking out over there. My son's asleep on the floor. I'm in a trampoline with a bunch of balloons in it. And then my daughter's over here with her mother doing speech. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands right now. So I just do a quick, like, what the fuck? YouTube short and Instagram and wherever else. And I'll be honest, NC Green, to work it back to your super chat here. I'm like, oh my God, they just signed this guy a couple of months ago. This is going to be massive dead cap money. This is terrible, terrible news. Because, sure, you lose the player, and that part, it sucks, because I love Sauce Gardner, obviously. But, like, oh, my goodness. What about the dead cap? We're going to be destroyed. We just signed this guy, and to trade him immediately stinks. However, shout out to Darren Mucci. He explained this yesterday. He spoke to the media last night about all the moves, and he explained that they set up the contract where it was tradable. Then they didn't know when they signed him they're going to trade him immediately, but they said, hey, we want that flexibility. You never know what's going to happen, is basically how Darren Mucci explained it. And the Jets have very minimal dead cap, very reasonable. They sent the signing bonuses. So normally when a player signs a deal, they get a massive signing bonus, like $50 million, $60 million, something crazy. Sauce Gardner's is like $15 million. Which means the future bonuses are on the Colts cap, not the Jets. So the Jets actually set this up beautifully, and it's the 13, 14, 15 million, whatever it is a small iron price to pay for 2 future first and Adonai Mitchell, who we'll talk about later. Like, the money's not bad. Like, the Jets opened up cap space and got a ton of draft picks. Quinnen Williams was another example. I told you guys the last couple of weeks that we are coming to a fork in the road on Quinnen Williams. The Jets are either going to trade him or pay him, because Quinnen's going to want more money. He only had $5 million more in guaranteed money left in his contract. So that was going to have to be addressed this offseason anyway. Again, whether the Jets kept him for the long term or shipped him off. So we came to a fork in the road on Quinnen's contract too, and the Jets said, all right, we'll hit the exit button. And there's all kinds of drama on Quinnen, where apparently he requested a trade on 3 different occasions to the Jets, and he was unhappy, and he displayed that, and then he didn't want to re-sign with the Jets anymore. So the fact of the matter is, all that drama was going on behind the scenes. Big shout out to AG and Darren Mucci. They kept that in-house. The only hint that Quinnen Williams was upset we saw on social media immediately after the Jets moved on from Aaron Rodgers, where Quinnen comes out and goes, up, another rebuild year for me, I guess. That was the only hint of displeasure we were aware of. Apparently, a lot more shit was going on inside the building, and a big shout out to AG and Moochie for keeping that in-house and maximizing the value of a player. Now, Jamal Adams a couple of years ago was unique, where he was firing his way out of town, saying all kinds of crazy shit on social media, and the Jets still got 2 first-round picks for him. But normally, when a player goes nuclear, his trade value goes down because everyone's like, well, obviously the team's got to move him, so his price goes down. So the fact that Jets got a 1, a 2, and a player, even though the Cowboys are doing everything in their power to get rid of Mozzie Smith, they get a player at a position of need now. With Quinnen gone, they needed another defensive tackle. So Mozzie Smith, welcome to the team. Again, we'll talk about him later. So the cap situation for the Jets is quite rich, quite rich. So thank you for pointing that out, NC Green. Again, there's just so many friggin' layers to get to on the trades and how it's all going to work out moving forward that we're going to need a bunch of days here, probably years, to unpack it all. But you now have a raffle ticket for our contest, NC Green, so appreciate you very much. We'll be opening up the phone lines here in just a few minutes. Again, we have over 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. Would appreciate it. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. That's youtube.com/boygreen25. Yes, sir. We'll also be back live again today at 11 o'clock with PFF NFL analyst Dalton Wasserman. We'll be reacting to all these Jets trades. So it'll be another full live Jet show coming up at 11 o'clock as well. So good Lord, have mercy. Luca, BG, where can I find the audio for Mooj? I assume it wasn't a video presser. It was a video presser. It was a Zoom presser. So that is available on NewYorkJets.com. So, yeah, the full Darren Mucci presser is available. And I believe SNY has a version of it as well on YouTube. So you can find it there as well. But, yes, Darren Mucci spoke for 10, 15 minutes, something like that, and addressed a couple of things. I have a bunch of notes, which we'll get to. I'll have that. I think I wrote 7 articles yesterday and then 2 more today. So a ton of articles on Heavy on Jets, on a variety of these trades that happened, didn't happen, and everything else. Dick Chimney's burner. Oh, I missed the October giveaway. Anyone remember who won that? I had some tickets, but normally not lucky yet. Number 1 Austrian Jet fan won it. He won it. So we'll be shipping that out to Austria this week. With all the trade deadline business and all the action happening, that has not been sent out yet. But shout out to our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. So, hey, Dick Chimney's burner, you can get into the raffle for this month. I think the prize pack is even better with the autographed Marty Lyons Alabama jersey, a Jets legend, a college football legend, and he signed it off to the Boy Green Coffee Club. So, Dick Chimney's burner, get involved, baby. You guys can join the Boy Green Coffee Club. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. All right, let's do this. Let's waste no more time. I could talk to you guys for another 2 hours breaking down every trade and the draft picks and everything else that's here. But let's do this. Let's go to the phone lines. So one thing I will do before we go to the phone lines is this. Look at this Jets draft haul. Let me turn off our scrolling ticker for a second. Here is the draft haul for the Jets over the next 2 years. They have 2 first-round picks in 2026, their own first-round pick and the Colts' first-round pick. They have 2 second-round picks, their own second-round pick and Dallas' second-round pick, which, by the way, so Indy's really good, so their first-round pick might be at the end of the first round. Dallas stinks. They just lost to Arizona Cardinals. They could have a top-flight second-round pick, which is almost like a first-round pick in terms of value. So that's sneaky something to pay attention to. Let's go to 2027. The Jets have 3 first-round picks. They have their first-round pick. They have the Colts' first-round pick. And they have whichever pick is the best between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys, because the Micah Parsons trade in 2027, the Cowboys got a first-round pick from the Packers. They also have their own first-round pick. The Jets worked it into the deal that whichever first-round pick ends up being better, because obviously we don't know whose record is going to be what, the Jets automatically get that better pick. So Darren Mucci, losing Sauce Gardner sucks. Quinnen Williams, it becomes more understandable with everything that we heard, but he cooked. He got value on these superstar players, obviously, with this kind of haul. He didn't sell them for pennies on the dollars. The Jets have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years, and as a massive fan of the draft, well, here we go. So big salute to Darren Mucci. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. Austrian Jet fan, number 1, gifting a membership. baby. That is now 24 raffle tickets for our number one Austrian Jet fan here on the channel, baby. Appreciate you, number one Austrian Jets fan. You're the best, baby, and thank you for calling me the content king. I love doing this job. It's an absolute treat. It's a lot of hard work. I was at this computer for like the last 12 hours yesterday, but we figured it out, and that's what's most important here on the channel. All right, we'll get the new member from number one Austrian Jet fan here in just a second, but up next, we'll open up the phone lines. You guys can vent. You guys can analyze. You guys can do whatever your heart's content on how you want to respond to all these trade deadline rumors and the Jets-Browns game that's coming up this weekend. By the way, Wavy Jets Guy just got that membership from our number one Austrian Jets fan. Congratulations, Wavy Jets Guy. You get a month free sample of the Boy Green Coffee Club. A good month to get it, that's for sure. All right, let's do this. We'll hit the HEP song. And then up next, your calls. Oh, boy, this should be interesting. That's next here on the show.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Let's go, Hepster. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, another membership coming through. Let's hit it. Those draft chimes, we're going to be hearing those a lot in the next 2 years. That kid to it. Hit it. Beautiful. Membership being gifted by that kid to it. That membership went to ISU_RB4L. You're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club and a raffle ticket to the great universe here. By the way, before we go to the phone lines real quick, just in case any of you guys missed it, here are the trades real quick in graphic form. The Jets traded Sauce Gardner for a 2026 first, a 2027 first, and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. He was a second-round draft choice last year. To the Dallas Cowboys, received Quinnen Williams. We received their second-round pick in 2026 and the better of their 2 first-round picks in 2027, which could be the Green Bay Packers first-round pick or the Dallas Cowboys. They also received defensive lineman Mozzie Smith, another former first-rounder there as well. The Jets squeezed this trade in at the deadline. They received cornerback Jasir Taylor for a conditional 2028 seventh-round pick, physical pending. But the Jets need corners after trading away Sauce Gardner, and it looks like he's a key special teamer. He's played a lot of special team snaps. He also has played a significant amount of snaps defensively. He's played about 1,000 snaps on defense through his career. He will be a free agent after the season, so a nice little dart throw at corner. And he's played about 800 snaps on special teams. So sort of a key guy there. Could be a backup nickel because the Jets moved on from Michael Carter II. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. moves up to starting slot. Jasir Taylor, likely the new backup to Jarvis Brownlee Jr., just to keep that in mind for the whole thing, which again gives us this massive pile of picks. All right, without further ado, let's go to the phone lines. A lot of people want to call into this program. Let's go to it. Hepster kicks us off. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. I guess we're really going to see what he's about now. Aaron Glenn is about now. I'm curious to see, do you think it was maybe the attitude that was going on, the defeatist attitude these guys might have been carrying along with them? Like the minute something went wrong, they were like, oh, here we go again.
Well, we can say that for sure on Quinnen. Again, on top of the podcast I was doing, all the writing I was doing, I was trying to listen to what are experts saying on all this. What's Adam Schefter saying? What's Connor Hughes saying? What's all these people that are around the team all the time? What are they saying about this? And it seems like there was a lot of that with Quinnen, unfortunately, and it's hard to blame him. You know, he's been here since 2019, so all he's known is losing. But it seems like, according to the reports of Connor Hughes and Zach Rosenblatt, Quinnen gave that opinion about Aaron Rodgers, where he's like, up another rebuild year for me, I guess. Aaron Glenn and Quinnen apparently got into it behind the scenes, and Quinnen had that in the back of his head the whole time, and apparently didn't fully buy into this new staff. He liked the old staff of Saleh, Ulbrich, and everybody, but they weren't here anymore. So Quinnen, I guess, was very angry and upset. And to add everything to it, Quinnen apparently approached the Jets this past offseason. So they pay Sauce, they pay Garrett, and Quinnen comes to the team and says, hey, I only got $5 million guaranteed money left in my deal. Hey, like, I'm next. Pay me. And he said, we'll talk to you maybe next year. And Quinnen was super offended by that. So that didn't help. So I think that was clearly it for Quinnen, and he didn't really want to be here anymore based on all that intel. But it seems like Sauce was totally different. Like, Sauce wanted to be here. He wanted to be a Jet. But a lot of people had some of those criticisms that exist out there on Sauce. Now, I want to make sure this is perfectly clear. We're going to talk about all this on the show. And again, we've got we've got 10 callers waiting. Like, we got everybody waiting here, which is great. But like, I'm not going to turn around and go, Sauce and Quinnen sucked. Thank God for those losers. No words ain't coming out of my mouth. But if you're looking at Sauce through, like, a side glance, you say, okay, he doesn't get interceptions. All right. He's a questionable tackler. And those are going to, it's whatever we are.
I don't think that's an AG.
So 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's not an AG type of guy.
Right. So he's like, hey, man, and he gets this king's ransom offer of 2 first and a wide receiver, and they needed a wide receiver. He's like, okay, so let's get this straight. This is who the player is. This tiger ain't changing his stripes. Like, that's who he is. And I either have to accept that or not and trade him. And he had the opportunity to trade him. So he trades him and he says, hey, and hey, we got to give credit to AG for this. Like Brandon Stevens, right? This is a guy who they signed. We're all like, oh boy, this signing looks like trash. And early on, it looked like trash. And then all of a sudden, Brandon Stevens just turned it around. He's been really good. So if we're to believe anything, then AG's coaching must be halfway decent if he got this guy that was a cast off to the rest of the league and he got something out of him in his scheme, in his life. Like, Sauce was already here. So it's not like he was going to cut Sauce. So Sauce was already here. Okay, he's a star corner we're going to build around. So that's the faith, if you're a Jets fan, to say, hey, man, he was able to get something out of Brandon Stevens, and that was his guy. He signed Brandon Stevens. He saw the vision for him and hoped that, okay, he traded away Sauce Gardner. Let's see Azaria Thomas. Again, another quote-unquote AG guy, and he's now going to get a ton of reps there at corner. So I think totally that way for Quinnen. I don't think that way for Sauce in terms of losing and stuff. I just don't think Sauce has been around it enough for that to sort of permeate. And now maybe it's eventually going to happen because how long is this rebuild going to take? But yeah, I think that was definitely the case for Quinnen.
Well, they were talking about that not this draft coming up, but the following year's draft is supposed to be the one that's chock full of talent.
Yeah.
And so do you pick your quarterback now or do you build your team now and then draft a guy?
To me, I'm going to, and I know a lot of people aren't going to do this, I trust the front office. If they believe a franchise quarterback is in this draft, then what are we talking about? Stop talking to me. You go get that guy. But if you don't think so, I don't want you to just go, well, fuck it, might as well try. We got 1 million first-round picks. Here's a random one and hope it works out. God knows. For the love of everything, it's all, please don't. If you think the guy's the guy, then I'm going to trust your belief and say, all right, if you guys believe this guy, all your scouting and everything is telling you, then let's ride. If it's not, the unique benefit the Jets have with the 3 first-round picks in 2027, where it's supposed to be this all-timer draft, according to draft people, we have Drew Beatty back on the show at the latter end of next week, because the Jets are about to play 2 games in like 4 days. They play the Browns on Sunday and then Thursday Night Football against the Patriots. So we'll have some bonus days after the post game to sort of talk about stuff, and we'll probably have Drew Beatty back on for that. And the Jets gave themselves wiggle room. So they're not forced. Geez, one of you bastards in the 26th draft is going to be our quarterback. Now with 3 in 2027, the Jets could do what EZ wanted to do. What if the Jets end up with a number 1 overall pick and they sell that pick to somebody else? And then they get even more picks. So they get the number 1 overall pick and they don't love any of the quarterbacks. Someone else is very likely going to like one of them. They could trade that off for another king's ransom, and then they have even more picks. Now, eventually they got to hit on them. But so I would say this. TBD. So far I've seen a handful of college football games this year. I think I've seen at least 1 or 2 games on all the top quote unquote quarterbacks, and no one's been like, yeah, that's my guy yet, which I'm just some random boob. But we'll see. To me, I think all options are on the table here for the Jets.
Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate you, Hap. Man, what a historic day happening here on the program, both yesterday and as we move forward today. Again, we got a ton of callers. We'll get to all of you guys here on the program. Up next is we got Ted here, NY Jets FL. What's up, Ted?
Paul.
Oh,
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm making my way to my thinking area, which is the garage.
All right.
So it was. I thought back on our with me and FL Phil 98's debate on blowing the team up, and I think Muji did an amazing job, knowing how Sauce had a down year last year to get what he got. It may be a bit of a tough pill to swallow that Sauce is an all-pro, and he should have been a Jet for a while, but the most important piece, you have to have a franchise quarterback, and I don't care how you get it. I mean, you're going to have to draft and develop players. We decided to get younger. We didn't want to start up with Rodgers. We're probably the 5th youngest team in the league. Getting these extra players to me is a bonus. These wide receivers who could possibly be developed. That is just, you get one of these guys out of the 3 we got, in the defensive tackle too. I mean, if he's a role, even if he could take Michael Clemens' place, or however they want to do it, you didn't really waste a pick on it. It was kind of a bonus. Yeah. So I just think Muji did an amazing job. What was your dad's? I didn't get your dad's opinion on Quinnen. I bet you he said they overpaid him. They overpaid on the draft picks. I would say I was hoping for a 1.
Yeah, let me see. Dad. I had a lot of text yesterday. Here he is. Wait. Holy shit, Sauce Gardner. And then I'm floored. And then how long is that later? All right, so that's 2 hours later. Quinnen, I called it. I wasn't that far off with 2 firsts, by the way. Yeah, so my dad, he called it. I think he called it on Monday. He's in Romania right now, so I don't even know what the hell time it is over there right now. But on Monday's show this week, before the trade deadline, he came on the show, and I said, "Oh, is this your last appearance before the trade deadline?" He says, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then he's going to come on Saturday. I said, do you have any predictions? Anything that's going to happen? He says Quinnen Williams gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys for 2 firsts. And I went, wow. Whoa. And I'm like, what happened? Like, because when we brought this up before, it's like, I don't fucking want Quinnen. Fuck you, buddy. Like in the offseason, we were talking all this Micah stuff and all that stuff months ago. And yeah, he called it. So major credit to him. So he loves that. He actually thinks the Cowboys got him for a deal for only being a 1 and a 2. And I think on our side that we got a really good deal. Quinnen's 27. He turns 28 in December. He wanted to get paid. I love Quinnen. Again, the jersey's hanging up here, right? I love Quinnen. He's been here forever, but it sounds like he didn't want to be here. And I think that's excellent value, especially from the Cowboys. Like that second could be very good. And the first, we're going to get guaranteed. Great negotiating by Muji to not just pick one or the other. Because I saw Cowboys fans, after the trade broke, it was initially reported that they were just getting 1 first or the other. It wasn't the best of the 2. And Cowboys fans were celebrating like, we got the Jets. And I'm like, geez. And then they went, no, whatever the best one is. And I'm like, fuck yeah, suck it, Cowboys. Nice. So, yeah, I thought they got really good value there. Yeah, my dad actually thought they were going to pay more.
Oh, fair point. I thought he would think it was an overpay, but I get it. Quinnen is young and he's been in our situation for years, so I would imagine psychologically there's a lot of upside for him to play with such a great organization. Well, say that with sarcasm. Hey, Paul, I think the dream of Joe Burrow coming in. I mean, can we stop with that? I mean, there's no way they're gonna get rid of Joe Burrow. I mean, I just don't understand that. I mean, if you want to really look at potential quarterbacks, you could look at something like Dak. I mean, eventually you're going to have to move off. If they're not winning, I mean, not that I love them, but somebody like that, seasoned in his 30s, and then you draft a quarterback behind him and you're good for a few years. I mean, how long are they going to ride with Dak if they're not winning anything?
That's
just an example.
Yeah, right. No, that's a good one because if they ever move off, but yeah, let me throw this up on the board because I definitely contributed to this conversation on social media yesterday. Here it is, and we're gonna have this guy hopefully on the show. He's a busy guy, Benjamin Albright, but here it is. Here's the screenshot. Ah, yeah, there he is. So Benjamin Albright says the Jets will use some of those picks on a quarterback next year, but I'm not sure it will be the draft. And that got a lot of people speculating, like, who the hell could he be talking about? I believe we're going to talk to Benjamin Albright on Friday, so stay tuned for that because I'm curious who the hell he's thinking here. But I quote tweeted it with Joe Burrow smoking the cigar, go, Joe? And a lot of people were throwing all kinds of things out there. Would you do it for Joey?
How many draft picks?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's probably going to 1,000. I don't know. 3 first-round picks, probably. Yeah, 3 first-round picks, probably.
I would probably do it.
I would probably
do it because they're in the 20s. Because they're going to be in the 20s anyway. Like
probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a top 5 pick. Maybe we could do a future. How about 27, 28, and 29, or 26, 27, and 28.
Yeah,
you spread them out.
Get creative, yeah.
Now
I see some people saying like Jets Pro 100. Joe Burrow is injury prone. He is, but he's Joe bleeping Burrow, man. You have a chance to have a proven MVP level quarterback that took his shitty Bengals team to the Super Bowl. Like, oh man, and then Joe Burrow here in New York. Ooh-wee.
Go look at his stats from last year. He should have been the MVP. If he was on a winning team, he would have been the MVP. Oh yeah, he had like 38 touchdowns and 4 picks, some ridiculous number. Another thing too, Paul, the offensive line, and it didn't do him any favors there.
And our offensive line is set, right?
Exactly.
Right? We're talking about Quinnen and Sauce being moved, but let's talk about what remains. The Jets have an offensive line that's really talented. Armand Membu, Olu Fascio. We'll figure out. There's a few pieces we have to figure out. Simpson, AVT, Myers are free agents. Tippmann's got to be paid. So you got to see how you're reshuffling that deck. But you've got Mason Taylor. He looks pretty good. You got Garrett Wilson. He ain't going nowhere. That feels pretty good. And then you insert a quarterback in. We'll see if Breece Hall's going to stick around here. Like, I don't know, man. The offense just seems like it's just waiting for the quarterback to drop in there. And if you get lucky, whether the draft or in a trade like this for someone like Joe B, like, that's enticing.
Exactly. Paul, I still like Cade Klubnik of Clemson. If we're going to draft, and Clemson's been down, but you can't blame him for all the flaws in the team. So he can still sling it. We can still get a quarterback. We don't have to. I don't think we really have to spend the first top 5 pick on a quarterback. Maybe we could move back or like other people have said, maybe next year would be the year, but you can probably get Klubnik in the top 15.
Yeah.
The way the quarterbacks have, and the guy could sling it. He reminds me of the guy from the Vikings. What's his name? From Michigan?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, pretty much similar type of player. And if you watched McCarthy last week, he was throwing it everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, JJ. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it as always.
All right, thank you for welcoming us into your thinking room, Ted. Appreciate that. We have 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe on YouTube, baby. We're reacting to the craziness of the Jets trade deadline moves and potential things that could be happening, could be popping out there in the universe. There's a lot of questions. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's for sure. All right, back to the phone lines. Indy Jets is up next here on the program. Indy?
Well, good morning, BG.
I remember a wise man said before the trade deadline, hey, what do you think's going to happen today? Nothing. No, I don't think nothing's going to happen. I can't quite do the grovelly Dennis Quaid voice for Philly, but I'm pretty sure a guy said nothing. Yukon Cornelius threw the pickaxe over the air.
Probably wasn't the first time and probably won't be the last time I was wrong.
Oh my holy shit.
But out of all the surprises yesterday, the biggest surprise was BG dropping 4 F-bombs in a YouTube short.
Oh god,
that was 4. I counted them 4. That was probably the biggest surprise of the day.
I was beside myself. I just couldn't believe, and then I had nothing to do. I couldn't express myself in any way. I was stuck in a child's living room, and I couldn't go anywhere. And I'm like, I just gotta yell at somebody. Hey, here's a phone right here, and there it is. So,
And that was the awesome part is you couldn't yell it, so you had to whisper
yell,
4 F-bombs. And so I could see the frustration that you just wanted to let out some energy. So here we are today. We're really glad that we're really glad that you're here. Couple of things here. Tagging Breece. Let's tag Breece, okay? If you tag Breece with the franchise tag, means he can't go anywhere. He can't negotiate. He can't. There's nothing he can do. Yep. Okay. So then they're not going to do that. They're not going to They're not going to exclusive franchise tag him.
Oh, so then you have the negotiating thing you're talking about.
Yeah. So then with the exclusive franchise tag, he can't go anywhere. Right. And so then you have the non-exclusive tag.
Right.
All right. And he has to sign it by I don't remember what it is, sometime in July or whatever.
Right. And if he doesn't sign it and another team signs him, the Jets get 2 first-round picks. But no one's ever obviously.
Well, he has to sign it. If he doesn't sign it, he can't play anywhere. So he has to sign the tag, but then it allows him to go and negotiate. And if he finds a team that will deal with it, take the deal, they have to give an equivalent of 2 first-round picks. So it doesn't necessarily mean 2 first-round picks, but it could be a first and a third and a player. So it has to be a combination that equates to 2 first-round picks. No team's going to do that either. I mean, they're not going to give up 2 first-round equivalencies for Breece. So they're just not going to do that. And so then their next option is that transition tag. That's your next option.
Sure.
And so if they transition tag him and another team wants to sign him, the Jets have the first right of refusal. Okay, they can say, okay, well, we like the deal that you accepted with whoever, Kansas City, we'll say.
Sure. Right.
And so we offer you the same deal, and he has to sign that. Mm-hmm. He can't turn down the Jets to go to and pick.
Right, if we match it, right, he would have no choice. That's correct.
Right. And now if the Jets choose not to match that offer, then he just walks. And we get nothing out of it. So there's no benefit for the Jets to give him a transition tag. Right. And so the only tag he's going to get is probably that non-exclusive. Mm-hmm. If they do tag him, I think they'll sign him. Myles Garrett did not want to be a Cleveland Brown until he did.
That's a good point.
Terry McLaurin wanted out of Washington until he didn't. And so, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going to let him walk. I think they're going to sign him. And you may even see that in the next week or two.
I hope so. I'd be all for it.
Yeah. But I just don't. I don't think the tag is an option for. I don't think he's good at the tag, and don't think he's bad enough to just let him walk. He's kind of right in that middle area where they're really their only option is to they're going to have to sign him. And if they sign him,
not trading him, yeah.
Yeah, if they sign him to a deal like they did Sauce, they signed him and in the off season, and say and then traded him. I can see that, but they won't tag. I don't think they'll tag him and then try to trade him because they don't think any team's gonna pony up that kind of draft capital for Breece. So
again, if you just use the straight up franchise tag, which is the $14 million, and he can't negotiate with anyone except you. What you could do is, again, find the Chiefs. If that's, I don't know how many teams are in the mix. We heard the Chiefs were in the mix. I don't know how many more teams beyond that were in the mix. But you reach out to them and say, hey, you want Breece? It's going to be a second or a third or whatever they make up. And then whenever they agree on that, they say, okay, you and Breece go get in a room. You guys work out the contract figures and bing, boom, bam, tag and trade. He's all yours. And you could trade him. So they could potentially do that. Or, like I said, the other thing is Breece is pissed, apparently, based on social media activity, and he wants to get out. I'm not letting him just walk. I could franchise tag him to block him from just walking out the door and saying, hey, you can only negotiate with us, and we're going to work out a long-term deal, or you're going to play out on the tag. It's up to you, buddy, whatever you want to do. So it could go that direction too. So, yeah, there are turns and plot twists to happen here in the near future for sure.
Yeah, right. And as far as, I think the Jets won the deal yesterday. I mean, if you look at the three players that got traded over the draft period with Michael Carter, that was more of a getting money off the books for a player that wasn't playing well.
Yep.
Sauce being traded was a surprise.
Definitely.
But I think this summer we were on here and we were talking about when we were breaking down last year's draft and they drafted how AZ Thomas.
Yes.
And I think I said that's the beginning of the end for Sauce. He wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing well last year, and he really wasn't playing as a top 2 or 3 corner this year.
Touche.
And so for him to go, it was a shock. But 2 first rounders for him. That's a win for the Jets.
Yes.
And maybe it's a win for the Colts too. Good for them. They're
all in.
They're going all in, and
if
they
win a Super Bowl, then it's all worth it. Of course, yeah.
Exactly. And so good for them. And the Jets were 1-7, and the defense was part of the problem. I would say at least probably more than 50% of the problem.
Yeah.
And Quinnen, who was supposed to be this good run stuffing, he could quarterback pressures on, he could stop the run, was not doing any of that. So to fleece the Cowboys for what they got, a first and a second, and Mazzie Smith, I think was a really good player in Michigan. I'm a big Michigan fan. When they drafted. Or in that draft, I was actually hoping that he would fall to the second and we would draft him over, and then we ended up with Joe Tippmann.
Yeah.
And he hasn't quite worked out with Dallas. And when a player doesn't quite work out with Dallas, that doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad player.
That's also true. Sure.
And so maybe, and if we can, if AG can make Michael Clemens, who, I love to troll Michael Clemens, but he's actually made him semi-relevant in the last 5 or 6 games.
Sure.
Mazzie Smith, who was a first-round draft pick, I think he could do far more than that. He's a big body run stuffer, and that's something that we've needed. We complained about that in this year's draft that we didn't go get. Okay. Mazzie Smith is that guy that we wanted to draft this year. Everybody said we needed a big
guy, right?
Yeah, and he's that guy that they didn't draft. Okay, so we've got that guy now. Now whether AG can turn him into a first round talent that he was drafted to be, that again that's remain to be seen. But at least so you're saying there's a chance.
Right.
And so we won on players. John Beachy, and I'm not real big on that. That's kind of a dart throw. If he turns out for something, great. If he doesn't, we're not really out anything.
Right.
But we've got the draft picks now. AD out of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Is that another Corley? I mean, come on. He literally did the same thing.
Yeah.
In Indianapolis, dropping the ball at the 1-yard line. It lost the game for him.
Yes.
It's literally Corley 2.0. Okay. Now, is the new team, the new atmosphere, is that going to change him and make him a better? I don't know. I don't know if that was if he's going to be another Corley or not. Corley hasn't amounted to anything since leaving the Jets, so maybe AD. I don't know if it. But it's basically the same
on AD Mitchell. I see the Sauce trade. I tell everybody I'm sitting over there on the trampoline with kids. I'm sitting over there, and then I get the alert that the Jets got 2 first-round picks for Sauce. I'm like, holy crap! Like, oh, that's crazy. And then a reporter goes, and a player to be named later, and I'm like, who the hell could the player be? But I don't know. So I'm just sitting there and I'm waiting. Refresh like all of us. Who the hell is this player? And I see it goes, boom, Ian Rappaport. It's Adonai Mitchell. And my response on Twitter is this quote, all caps. The dude that fumbled the ball going into the end zone, oh, dear God. That currently is 5.3 million views on Twitter, and people lit me up saying, hey, fuck you, buddy. You're the most negative Jets fan in the world. Like, come on, he's our guy now. You have to defend him. And I'm like, wait a second here. Okay, are we allowed to have some initial reactions? It's the first thing I thought of is this guy. And by the way, I'm not the one who fumbled. He did. So don't blame me. Blame him. I'm sorry that's on the resume. I wish it wasn't. And here's the Denzel Mims. This is a comparison no one's going to want to hear. Do you want to know how many touchdowns Adonai Mitchell has in his NFL career, Andy? Do you want to know?
Yeah, I'm going to guess a goose egg.
0. He would have had 1, but he didn't. Which, by the way, is Captain Malachi Corley. Malachi Corley would have had his first one, but he didn't. And guess who we played this week? Jets Browns, Malachi Corley revenge game. Why the hell not? Who's playing apparently halfway decent for Cleveland. Good for them. But, like, I don't give a... The 5.3 million people are saying, Paul, fuck you, buddy. You're the most pessimistic Jets fan. That's fine. If you guys don't watch my content and you think I'm some pessimistic Jets fan, so be it. We're allowed to have reactions, and it's not my fault. He's the one who freaking fumbled. Now, I'm going to support the hell out of him. I'm not going to say he sucks and all this other stuff. We're going to dive in on all these players. Adonai Mitchell, Mozzie Smith, John mentioned third. I hope all 3 are great. But to Ted's point, if any of them are good, okay, these were dart throws. It's smart, calculated decisions. Take a chance on all these 3 young players and see if they have anything. If they don't, oh, well, we got 2 first-round picks over here. Oh, we got a first and a second over here. Oh, we got Michael Carter second contracts off the books. That's all positive stuff anyway. So the players could just swing it whether or not the Jets won the trade if they turn into anything, even more so. So I'm totally for it. But yeah, and blame Adonai Mitchell himself. Don't blame me, people. Blame him.
Well, and those are the same people that wanted Corley out.
Right.
So, you're bringing a Corley 2.0 back in and saying, oh, he's going to be great. I'm not buying it yet. I would have been fine with the trade, with both of those trades. Actually, I would have been fine with all 3 of those trades if none of the players would have been added into them.
Right.
If we'd have just traded Sauce for the 2 first and didn't get a player, I'm still okay with that trade.
Yeah,
if we would have traded Dallas and didn't get Mozzie Smith, I'm still happy with the trade. So to throw those dart throw type of players in, and if you hit on one of them, let's just say one of the 3 turn out to be something, and the other 2 get cut in a year or whatever, it's still a win. It's still a win, and then you still have all the draft picks, and so we've got a lot of money now off the books in the next couple of years. So that's look at and I hate to talk about this, but look at the Patriots. They spent a lot of money in the offseason. They've got a quarterback. I think AG is just missing that quarterback. And as much as we hate the Patriots, Drake May is, he is what he is. They're leading the AFC East.
Yeah.
And so are we a year behind? Maybe 2 years behind. I don't know. But we'll see what this year brings. But I'm happy with what happened yesterday. Because at the end of the day, whether it's Sauce Gardner or whoever the player is, eventually they leave. Whether they retire, whether they get traded, whatever, they get cut. But we're still Jets fans. We're still a fan of 100%. The team.
Yeah.
And so I'm not. From Indianapolis, I remember a lot of those Colts fans left Indianapolis and became Denver fans. I mean, you'd walk around and people were wearing Peyton Manning's Denver jersey, and they weren't Colts fans anymore. And you don't see that with Jets fans. DeMario Davis goes to New Orleans or wherever, and now everybody's wearing New Orleans jersey. No, that doesn't happen with Jets fans. We're going to wear the green, and yeah, we can be a little ticked off that they traded this player or that player, but we're still here. And that's what I see a lot. You see a lot of that with other teams, and you don't see that with this fan base. We're still here. We're going to be, and so. Who knows what the draft will, but at least there's a chance now. Now, whether the Jets actually draft, but I'm seeing Muji and AD making good moves. You couldn't turn down that sauce deal. As much as he wanted to keep Sauce, that's just a deal that you just don't turn down. Do you remember what the Jets got for Darrelle Revis when they traded him?
Yes, they got a 1 and a 3.
A 1 and a 3. So you got a 1 and a 3 for probably one of the best corners in Jets history, and then you get 2 firsts and a player for Sauce Gardner. I think that's a win. I mean, that's definitely a win. Sauce never had a Darrelle Revis type season. Like Revis had.
It's hard to compare to 2009. That one was so elite.
Right.
Sauce had that great pass deflection season where he's up there among most pass deflections in a single season all time. But obviously, it's not 2009.
No. Right. And so to get a 1 and a 3 for that type of player, and then we turn around and get 2 firsts. You can't say no to that. No GM was going to say no, even if they didn't throw AD in. Sauce is gone. I think that although I did like that they came out and said Garrett Wilson untouchable.
Oh, I'm glad because I felt the same way. And I know a lot of people were hovering, right? You see Sauce Gardner get traded, the vultures start circling. Oh, everyone's available on the team. I'm glad the Jets resoundingly said absolutely not. He's untouchable. And there should be untouchable players on the roster that, like, I don't give a shit what you offer. Go pound sand. And that obviously, hey, Garrett Wilson was voted a captain for a reason. And
right. And there's probably a reason why Sauce Gardner wasn't voted a captain.
Perhaps so.
And so to allow him to walk, I think that was just a brilliant move for the future of the team. Let's hope these guys make the correct draft picks. But we can
only
here
hope.
we are.
We can hope,
Right.
Indy. Thanks,
Awesome.
Indy, for the call,
Appreciate
brother.
it, man.
There he is, Indy, joining us here on the program. We have 600 people in the room, guys. Like the video, hit subscribe. 200 of the 600 are watching on YouTube. Hit that like button. It's right there. We only have 80 likes, but 200 people in the room. Like the friggin' video. Also, hit subscribe, baby. I just checked. We're right now at 8,132 subscribers. So we're trying to make a chase to 10,000. Help us get there, baby. We'd appreciate it. I would also say this real quick. Folks, I have the 2 jerseys hanging up here, and we got more phone calls to get to, right? We got Sauce, we got Quinnen. We didn't win with these 2. Do you want to know why? I'm not a rocket scientist, okay? We didn't win with them. But you want to know why we didn't win with them? Right? It's because we didn't have a quarterback. So Sauce Gardner could be a 2-time first-team All-Pro. Quinnen could be a first-team All-Pro. We didn't have a quarterback. The message that the Jets sent to me with these moves was, we're going to get a fucking quarterback. Now, whether they get it right, to Andy's point, is up for debate. But they are in the best position to go get that guy. Aaron Glenn doesn't succeed unless he gets his quarterback. And he just stockpiled the treasure chest with 5 first-round picks and a bunch of second-round picks. And we're going to go get our guy. We're going to identify the guy. We're going to trust our scouting process. If it's scouting or if it's a veteran, I hope it's young player personally versus just grabbing someone else's trash. But different strokes, different folks. But they're like, we're going to get our quarterback. If AG gets a quarterback, he's going to look like the greatest coach of all time. If they don't get the quarterback, well, he's in for the inevitable fate of every other Jets coach over the last 20 years, fired, because they couldn't find the quarterback. So to me, I think that's the key. Let's get to a couple of super chats here coming in. Thank you guys so much. Mahar Khalil, whoa, mamacita, a $20 super chat coming in here. Hey now.
Wow.
Thank you, Mahar. And you, by the way, you have jumped in front of number 1 Austrian Jet fan. Hopefully he doesn't take this personally in the raffle contest. You're now number 1. Great trades. I wish we would have traded Jamie and Sherwood, hopefully in the offseason. A new quarterback needs a solid running back that can catch the ball. So let's see Braylon out and Isaiah Davis, what they have to offer before we trade Breece in the offseason. Well, obviously we won't see Braylon. He's out for the year. He underwent the surgery, and I don't believe the Jets are going to rush him back in the middle of what is now currently a 1-7 season, but he's not going to be here until December at the earliest, and the Jets record could be much worse at that point. The Jets are a worse football team with Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams off it. And I see that people complaining about tanking in the comment section. We could get to that perhaps at a different point. So, yes, in terms of the value, the Jets got great returns on Quinnen and Sauce. They got great value there. And I'll be curious. Again, we're going to have a couple of these insiders on the show for some bonus episodes. If you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member, you're going to get them. We're going to be talking to a Colts insider on Adonai Mitchell. We're going to talk to a Cowboys insider on Mozzie Smith. And we're going to talk to an NFL insider on what the Jets' plans are. So we got a lot of bonus shows coming up beyond Boy Green Daily there. On Jamian, I think the real thing here is you hope Jamian turns it around versus trading him too. I don't want the Jets to turn around, start paying guys, and immediately trading them. So I hope that Jamian turns it around, and hopefully does. He's a hard worker, and he's obviously got a lot of talent, and hopefully he can fit this scheme for the Jets defensively. So I'm not hoping for him to be traded. I just hope he turns it around from that standpoint. But we will see Isaiah Davis flashes. And to me, I'm running Breece Hall into the ground, man. He is getting 1,000 touches every game for the rest of the way. And let's feature Breece Hall, and then we'll go from there and figure it out in the offseason, Mahar. But I appreciate the super chat, pal. Old Yank saying Jawan Briggs revenge game this weekend. Yeah, there you go. Jawan Briggs, Malachi Corley. That's right. One more super chat, then we'll get back to the phone lines.
Wow.
Sturgis is a fan base. We love our players, and you guys should. And I'm sure we're going to get some very passionate calls coming up here. I know one individual that's coming up next that Passion is his middle name. And we'll get to that. And you should love your players. I know there are fans sometimes that are either fans of the players or fans of the Shield, and the Shield is the logo, right? You're no matter what the team does, you always support it, or you always support the players. Like again, I always remember back in what was that, like 2010, where the Jets cut Thomas Jones, and he had that 3-year run of like the greatest running back play of all time for the Jets, and they cut him. He was owed a $3 million roster bonus like on March 5th. And me and my dad got into this debate back in the day where he goes, man, that's fucked up, cutting Thomas before this roster bonus was due. And I'm like, hey, man, the Jets saved the money. And I love Thomas. So that was my first big interview that I got in the business, interviewing Thomas Jones 1,000 years ago. And that was great. So, folks, you can love the players. I love the players. I love Sauce. I'm rooting for the best for Sauce. Quinnen, I'm rooting for the best for Quinnen. When they're not playing the Jets, and neither we already played the Cowboys, and then we don't play the Colts this year. The Colts play in Germany, I believe, this weekend. It's going to be disgusting to see Sauce in blue and white, but I'm going to be rooting for him, and I'm going to wish him great success. Hope he gets a pick and all that other jazz. I hope that happens. So, Troy, you guys should love your players. You absolutely should love the players that are on this team. And I do. And that is it as well here. Actually, one more super chat coming through here. I just saw a last second one here from Mahar Khalil. Let's get that one back up here.
Wow.
What are my thoughts on cornerback Jasir Taylor? That was the last trade that came in for a conditional future 7th round pick. Again, I think he's a talented player. I don't think he's going to be in the starting conversation. I think your 3 starters at corner are Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who took MC2's job. Brandon Stevens keeps his starting job. He's been very good. And then Azareye'h Thomas, the rookie, I think he starts in Sauce's spot. An unenviable task, of course. We'll see how he performs. I think Jasir Taylor ends up being the new backup to Jarvis Brownlee Jr. in the slot. Interesting guy. He's a free agent after the season. So unlike some of the other trades, he's not under contract for multiple years. And it'll be curious, what's the stipulation for Jasir Taylor? Does he have to start a certain amount of games for that 7th round pick to count? Is it a playing time incentive? That we don't know. Hopefully we get that at some point here in the near future. It was a conditional pick, which I think is one of those scenarios. If it works out, Chargers get a 7th. If it doesn't, the Chargers get nothing, and the trade is null and void. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, he's a serviceable player. He plays a lot of special teams. He played 75% of the special team snaps most recently, and he also has some experience on defense. So a worthwhile dart throw for a half-eaten hot dog on a 2028 conditional 7th. Not bad. That's fine value for what Jasir Taylor is. Again, I'm not saying, hey, Sauce Gardner just got replaced. I'm not going that crazy, but yeah, that's a nice little deal there for sure. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. We have 700 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, and we're joined by the legend, Chef Kevin Gilbert, here on the program.
BG, good morning to you. Shout out to the Coffee Club members. Shout out to the #1 Austrian Jet fan, man. Keep doing your thing, brother. Do you think we just won the offseason, man? And it ain't even the offseason. Did we just win?
We did. We
Like
definitely
this is
went in.
definitely the earliest, man. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
for
we
sure.
clinched. I think we clinched that championship of off-season champions, man. I like what we did, but then I'm not happy with what we did too. Like the things
Okay.
that we didn't do. I get the trades. We extracted great value out of these players.
Yes.
With Q, like I already told you, man. I told you this stuff, man. I told you with
Yeah.
Q, with AG that AG lost the locker room. I told you this a month ago, and everything's coming out. I don't need insiders to say this or that to me. I just basically go off of what I see and what I hear that's public, and then I base my opinions off of that. And with Quinnen, with the tweeting, when we got rid of Rogers, and then AG is like, "Yo, man, shut the hell up. Let's keep
Mhm.
this in the house. We'll be fine. This ain't no rebuilding stuff, whatever." That kind of was like, all right, red flags, but all right, cool. AG want to keep it in house, which I agree on. Like, it's okay to, go on Twitter and talk about things, but something like at that magnitude,
Mhm.
you kind of want to keep it quiet. So I got that. But I told you when Q had that players only meeting,
Mhm.
that's when I was like, yo, locker room's done, man. And AG didn't look too happy in the press conference when he was asked about that. And Q, basically the leader of the team, man. AG don't want those veteran voices. AG wants his voice. He don't want anybody else. He don't want anybody else talking. It's just him. So what do you do? Q, adios. And guess what? He didn't want to be here. So I get it, man. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
disgruntled. He's been here for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Him and Hennessy were the two
Thomas
longest
Hennessy, baby.
tenured, two longest, great dude too, by the way.
Mhm.
Two dudes that were here the longest on this roster, and it's like, hey, all right, his time was up, man. He got fed up. Yo, I get it. So we got great value out of that. The saucing, I mean, that caught me off guard.
Yes.
But we did get great value out of that trade. Now, the only way we can really grade to see if this was a good trade is what we do with the picks, man.
Of course.
We got to see that. It's like, if we had the D line, which we already knew, the D line, it wasn't how it was supposed to be with
Right.
rushing, pressing, tackle, sacks, all that stuff. If they were able to apply more pressure, then we could have probably seen some more stuff. The quarterbacks weren't forcing things to Sauce's side, especially with the leads that we,
Mhm.
that we were playing against. They didn't have to force into tight windows on Sauce's side, so they're just picking apart the other side and everything like that, which is why you don't really see the stats on his end. The tackle and everything else improved. Obviously, the Colts think highly of him to do that.
Yeah.
The wide receiver, I'm not too high on him, man. Just to be honest,
Yeah.
look at the
I
stats, man.
appreciate it. Yeah.
9 catches this season already,
Yeah. Not one touchdown. Yeah.
8 or 9 games, under 150 yards of receiving. Like, I do like the size, man. 6'2",
Yeah.
over
And he's
200
fast as all
pounds.
hell. 4.340. Yeah.
So I like that. I
Mhm.
like that. But the production, man, this is it. Like, so now we feel good with how we drafted. All right, we drafted Aaron Smith. At the time, I got beat up for this. I wasn't high on Aaron Smith. I'm like, oh, we got a fast Lazard, and now look at this. He's all we're like trying to find his replacements and all this stuff. We're getting
Yeah.
all these wide receivers. It's
Mhm.
like if we nailed that pick, we wouldn't have to be trading players and like asking for wide receivers. We need tackles, man. We need people to tackle the ball. Stop these other offenses from just putting up all these damn points on the board. Defense is looking horrific, man. And now
Yeah.
we got, probably two of our best players on defense. Now they're gone. What do you think is going to happen for the rest of the season? Did we get better for this season? Absolutely not. But this is
Definitely
a
not.
move, for the future where hopefully, they plan it right. And then with the coaching, you just put these players in position, man. Just if they don't fit your scheme and all that, cool. Get the players that will.
Mhm.
And then you got to be held accountable by how we're playing. All right. Because the rest of the season, man, I wasn't looking at too many wins. We ain't winning nothing else, man.
Oh
We
God.
just gotta be real with ourselves, man. And then it's like, all right, I get that extracted value that we got out of those two players, man. I thought it was great value. Hate to see them leave, but I totally get it, man. You're not gonna hear me arguing, bitching, and complaining about it. But then
Mhm.
it's like you can't say Muji did a great job because of the stuff that he didn't do. Breece wanted out, and we didn't do that. All right, like I get the 4th round pick because it's the Chiefs, so it's basically almost like a fifth
Fifth
round
round.
pick or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I get, but still, man, if we're gonna lose him, let's at least get something. If he's telling you like, yo, I'm not happy, now what are you gonna now you're gonna tag him? And was like how many more M's is he gonna get? It's over 10, probably 12. Like by the
Oh, for the
time,
franchise tag? It's
yo,
14.
my man. So like,
But
what
maybe
are
you
we?
can convince him to stay, and then you extend him. Say, hey,
Yo, I'm a
Breece.
BG. I'm a Breeze fan. Yo, he be
Yeah.
looking at my stuff too. I met him a couple of
Oh,
times. We
nice.
got autograph stuff. Yo, I'm a Breeze
Oh, cool.
fan.
All right,
I've
sure.
been rooting. I think I'm like one of the few people that really want him here and want him to stay and appreciate the value and what he brings. Like on offense, what do we got? Garrett. Then who else?
Breece?
Yo, my man. Like, so that's always been my thing. But now, like, we should have done something because now we're probably gonna overpay. And then it almost feels like Le'Veon Bell kind of thing where now we're giving
Ooh.
all this type of money and we can't really spread the money, elsewhere. Le'Veon Bell got a ridiculous, bag or whatever. But then it's like, what else do we have on offense? What else is here? Mason Taylor, I get it. All right. He's not a star. All right. Do we see his ceiling getting higher? Yeah, yo, he's gonna be a good one, but it's still gonna take some time, man. It's not like next year he's gonna be this transcending tight end where it's like, whoa, hold on, like with work and everything, yo, he's definitely gonna get there. All right. But when you look at right now, I'm about wins, man. We ain't getting that. Next year, it don't matter what quarterback we get. You really think we go in the playoffs? We got to see what the roster is, and then it's like, oh, we got all this money. All right, but who's going to want to come here? And whoever wants to come here, guess what we do best? We overpay for these players, man. We overpay for these dudes. The Quincy, yeah, he was good in 23, 24 for us,
Yeah.
but if he sees his brother gone, if we ain't gonna give him the bag, I mean, we already gave it to Sherwood.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna walk too. All right, we picked him up. We didn't lose anything for him. We got him off of waivers, but still, this is
Correct.
somebody
Right. Yeah.
that's been in our system that we developed. Sal and the staff, they developed him to be where he's at right now. But now it's not like capitalized on that, man. Yo, that's malpractice, man, in my opinion. Like, dude, his contract is expiring. You just traded his brother. Like, we couldn't move him for something else. The season's cooked. We all know that. I don't care the most positive fan in the world. You can't sit here and tell me with a straight face, yeah, we're winning straight out, or yeah, we're winning 4 or 5, or yeah, we winning half of this game. You can't tell me that. Look at the rosters. When you look at all the NFL teams, you think we got better this season? No. For next season with the assets that we have, probably. But guess what? Everybody else is getting better too. This is the thing. Everybody else got picks. Everybody else got 1st round picks.
Sure.
So for me, I think he did do a good job, but then it's like, damn, we got these inspiring comments. We could have did better. We could have did more. Knowing about where the season is going, which we all knew, man. Valuation, just basically tanking or whatever.
We can still take out Cleveland this week.
I mean, I'm going to the game.
Yeah, baby.
Silly
That's
me.
it.
silly
Yeah, there you go,
me.
Chef.
Yo, I found the crazy deals, man. I'm paying
Oh, good.
$120 for 2 lower level seats combined.
What jersey you're going to be wearing? Because I'm sort of running out of jerseys of Jet players that are still on the team.
Dude,
So
I've been a Jet fan for a long time, and I got a bunch.
okay, good.
The only Sauce jersey I have is a autograph authenticated one. So I ain't wearing that regardless.
Def not.
On
Totally,
the
please don't.
Jets websites, the Sauce jerseys, the Quinton jerseys, they're all gone. Like they're not there. I don't know if they were all bought out or the team was just like,
Oh,
we
boy.
ain't selling this stuff no more. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
you can't see it no more.
Yeah.
It's gone. Like, I get it. But then they still have Gibson's jerseys up there. The Clemens jerseys are still there. He's on the team and all that. Like, hey, Quinn is not here, so we're gonna see more Clemens on the field. Shout out to Indy's guy, like, and then it's like JJ. Why are there talks about we're cool with a 2nd round pick for him?
Well, apparently they wanted a 2nd round pick is what Albert Breer and a bunch of people reported. If they get a 2nd round pick, they're going to trade him. Yesterday, according to Connor Hughes, they got a 2nd round pick, and the Jets went, yeah, fuck that. We're still not trading him. No.
Good.
So I love it. So that's that to me was awesome here. I'm like, yeah, baby, Jermaine's someone I want to build around. So I'm glad that they rejected that trade offer.
Mm-hmm. So I know you got a lot going on. It's kind of getting late for me. I gotta get things
Oh, of
rolling
course.
over here.
Of course.
But yo, basically once I heard about the trade from my brother-in-law, he hit me up. I'm like, no way. I go onto YouTube and you're short or whatever's the first thing that I saw. I'm like, yo, this is like a mixture of Badshaw in the bathroom with
Yeah.
like Easy. It was like a blend of that. Um, that was funny. Thank you for your insight and quickly getting your reaction out there. That
Of
was
course.
that was funny to see. Keep up the great work, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Chef. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. That is Chef Kevin Gilbert, Cloverleaf Tavern. Again, if you're local, you know where to go, baby. Chef Kevin Gilbert joining us here on the program. Terrific. All right, we've got a bunch of phone calls to get to, so let's keep the train rolling. Again, we have 700 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. If you guys are interested in all that Breece Hall stuff that we started the show with, you guys can check out the article in the YouTube description down below if you want to catch up. And then feel free to submit your super chat questions and memberships and all that jazz. Because again, we're giving away this autographed jersey, baby. An autographed Marty Lyons Alabama Crimson Tide jersey. It is autographed to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Salute to Marty Lyons, and has all his Jets accomplishments and other accomplishments like the College Football Hall of Fame and others. And his NFL Man of the Year award there on the jersey as well. We're giving this away on December 1st, so all you have to do is send your memberships in and super chat, super stickers. They're $3 a pop. Every $3 you spend, you get a raffle ticket for a contest. So good luck to everybody. I highly recommend you guys at least get one raffle ticket so you have a chance to win this. So good luck to all those out there in the universe. All right, let's go to him. It's been a while since we've seen this guy, Nick Teodoro, on the program. What's up, Nick?
Hey, what's going on, BJ? Hey, man.
Hey, yeah, good to see you. Hey, yeah, not too shabby. I mean, a lot of craziness, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt like I had to chime in here. Like, I think, again, I agree with you just kind of stemming off the JJ deal. Like, I want him to be a foundational piece for this team. Even with Will McDonald, I think bookend edge rushers are something that's hard to find. That's why I'm very much okay with the Quinnen deal. I thought even as early as late as last week, if you got a 2 and maybe a 4 for Quinnen, I was like, all right, I'll probably take that. And for what they got, I think they absolutely got hosed the Cowboys. I mean, I don't
know at all.
But yeah, to get a 1 and a 2 for Quinnen at this point in time, and to get that money off the books in a position that I think I know he's one of the top players in the league at his position, but I think it's a position that's very devalued in today's games in a lot of ways that can be replaced for a marginal cost.
Well, I'm glad the Cowboys don't feel that way. I'm just kidding. I'm happy for Quinnen. I hope he kills it over there.
It will be interesting to see though how he plays next to Kenny Clark, because that was always the kind of like it just a kind of like revisionist history. But like when we had Leonard Williams with him, like we never continued that trend of like we were running like the 3-4 with them and like Sheldon Richard. We never kept those 2 stud defensive tackles together for more than like it felt like a half a year or maybe even a quick year in a rookie deal.
Yeah. It's true. And to be honest, we had Jets Cowboys week 5. I brought up RJ Ochoa. He's going to come back to talk all the Mozzie Smith and craziness that happened. And I brought it up to week 5. I'm like, hey, RJ, I know you guys traded for Kenny Clark, but would you guys have all this draft ammunition. If things go south for us, would you trade for Quinnen Williams? He's like, no. Now that the Cowboys got Kenny Clark, we wouldn't then again dip back in for Quinnen Williams. It just wouldn't happen. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then fast forward all these runs, and big boom, bam, boom, he's got it. So yeah, hey man, I'll be curious to see. They've got a bye week this week, so Quinnen will have some time to sort of get his feet settled before they come out of the bye against the Raiders. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm still in shock, to be honest. When I woke up this morning and I looked down because I had all these notes, I wrote down all of these articles. I was going to say like I was going to wake up and see nothing, like it was all this crazy ass nightmare, and I was going to sit down on the show. Gosh, you won't fucking believe this story. I fucking went. I must have had acid or something. I don't know what the hell happened, but Sauce is here and Quinnen is here, and you guys would be like, oh, Paul, you crazy bastard. But then I saw, I'm like, oh, nope, that all really happened. So why?
Well, it's interesting because it does kind of beg the question, like you were just saying, like timing is everything. Because the Sauce deal, if this was done in the offseason and he was tagged and traded, I don't think anyone really blinks an eye at it because we save the money theoretically, right? Whoever Indy theoretically gives them an extension at that point. But there is also the leverage and the timing of it is, was there less leverage in the offseason when you have to give him an extension and you don't know versus now, and versus now an indie team that's going all in that would be willing to do that. So, I think, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen the other. We'll see what ends up happening, but the timing of it is interesting. I think the only thing that kind of perplexes me is giving him the extension and then taking the hit, but it seems like they're not taking that much of a huge hit on the dead cap money anyway.
That is correct. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I did. Again, we were doing a bunch of coverage of it yesterday. The Jets built it into the contract that they gave him basically a small signing bonus to begin, which was unique when someone's getting a big contract. It's normally like 40, 50 million, something crazy. Boom. Let's knock this money out of the way. The Jets only gave Sauce like a $15 million signing bonus, which was sort of weird, but like no one said anything like, oh, he's going to be traded. And so it opened up this opportunity to move him, and the dead cap is like super minimal for the Jets. It's like nothing. All those future big money bonuses that sometimes come in the beginning of a deal, those are all on the Colts now. So that's for them. It ends up working for all sides because the $15 million dead cap hit that the Jets ate for are going to eat for this year. Indy gets to pay Sauce Gardner vet minimum for the rest of the season because of how the contract works. And they didn't have a lot of cap space. So that uniquely worked out for them. And to your point, the Colts being 7-2, they're like, fuck this. We're all in, baby. Let's go right now. It's that same aggression there in the offseason where you just say, maybe we're all in. Like when you're in the middle of the season and the live bullets are flying, I think the unique motivation of Indy versus what the Jets were able to do contractually, those two things sort of met, and you have the Venn diagram kissing there where there's an opportunity, and that's what they take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, and the one thing I think that for Indy too is, Sauce could be very good in that scheme because I think Sauce is much better in zone schemes. I don't think he's a man-to-man corner by any stretch. I think, he played so well in Saleh's, cover 3 scheme that worked for him. And you see some of the best plays he makes are when he's in zone. So for them, it might work much better than what schematically than what we had. So, good for them. And the investment might be worth it. But I think, again, for what they got back, they're in a pretty good position. So I know it's not great to look at the rest of the season as a 1-7 team, but the future can very well be bright. So let's stay positive, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Nick. Great catching up with you, my man. And hopefully you've been enjoying all the wrestling. I can't believe John Cena retires next month. Crazy. So more of that wrestling stuff, I'm sure, coming up. And shout out to Nick for everything that entails. Again, the phone lines are lighted up. We got a lot of you that want to jump on the show. Appreciate it. We have 700 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe here on the program. All right, we got another super chat coming in here. This is from our boy Frankie. Sending in a $5 super chat. Thanks, Frank.
Wow.
What's our salary cap look like now? So here it is. Let's get the NFL salary cap here from Over the Cap. And let's see here. I was just looking at this yesterday, so I want to make sure I give you guys accurate information. So, okay, where the Jets currently stand is they have $19.19 million in cap space right now available. So they lost a little bit of money with some of the dead cap hits they took. I think they're at like 21 million a couple days ago. So they're at 19 now. In 2026, this is all according to Over the Cap, the Jets have 94 million in cap space. That's 4th most in the National Football League. They got a nice bump up with some of the deals they did. So now bump up to 94. That's 4th most. So in a couple of months, they're going to have the 4th most cap space in the NFL. They're at 94 million and more moves to come, obviously. In 2027, the Jets are number 1 in available cap space with 209 million. And unbelievable with, by the way, let me read all the dead cap money. I'll do that in a second for you, Frankie. But so let's go back. So 2025, right? So the Jets are, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in cap space, and they have 100 million in dead cap. And that's Aaron Rodgers, that's CJ Mosley. There's a lot of reasons that they have all that dead cap in currently on this season. In 2026, the Jets have 71 million in dead cap. Again, that's a lot of, kind of answering for the sins of our forefathers that the Jets have to pay that premium price. But again, still 94 million in cap space. In 2027, again, 209 million in cap space. That's number 1 in the National Football League, and a big fat 0 on the dead cap, which again, sometimes would have been scary if you trade a guy months into his deal like they did for Sauce. The Jets are basically, long story short, in a phenomenal financial position Again, the only probable change I would have made is I would have eaten all of the Aaron Rodgers dead cap this year and not split it up over 2. If they did that, maybe they couldn't have done the Sauce and Garrett extensions, which could have caused other problems. So maybe, the Jets are smarter than me and they know more about it. But I probably would have eaten it all at once. That would have been the only slight adjustment. But besides that, I mean, they're doing very well cap-wise. So shout out to Over the Cap for that. So they're set. And then obviously all the draft picks, which obviously it is not. It's not part of your question, Frankie, but that's another part of it as well. And Frankie, we've added that to your raffle ticket totals. You now have 11 raffle tickets so far this month. Thank you kindly. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Again, a lot of people to get to here on the program. Up next, DNY for life. It's Devin, baby.
Good morning, BG. Good morning, brother. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear. Roger,
No
over.
doubt.
Yep.
Hey, bro, what's going on, man? Hey, man, I just wanted to chime in on my little 2 cents. At first, I just want to say shout out to my boy Chef Kev. You always be cooking it up in the kitchen and on this chat, bro. You be doing your thing, man. Indy, shout out to you too, brother. Hey, man, you guys always make some like killer points, and I really appreciate your knowledge when you're dropping it. So shout out to you guys. I want to give Muji his flowers though, bro. Like, and if you sit back and my rose-colored Jets glasses always, but given the situations that he's given, you got Quinn Williams didn't want to be here. That's phenomenal how that was even handled, in-house. The old regime with Saleh and Douglas, that shit would have been in the streets like day one, and we would have gotten no trade value for him, and then everyone would have been killing us because we would have had to trade him and got shit for him, right? And so
100%.
we'd have been the one that's bent over. So, for them to for everybody talking about how AG and runs his house and Muji running the house, like, keep running your house, bro. Y'all doing your thing, and I appreciate that. So I've seen, in my personal opinion, I feel like Darren Muji has done more in this first year as a GM than Joe Douglas did in his fucking however many years he was here. Never saw this type of stuff during the regular season with him, man. He was one of the worst, give him a first round pick. Yeah, he's good at that. But I mean, who's not? And and to think about the fact that, like, yeah, we lost Quinnen, right? But we picked up a D tackle that was a first round pick 2 years ago, right? So people are like, this is why I don't necessarily always want to also makes another point for me. I also always don't necessarily want to accumulate draft picks, right? Because if you don't accumulate the right players, then that lottery ticket is worth shit. You know what I mean? You just threw away a player, whatever. But I don't think they're doing that. I think they're building this the right way. I think we still got to maintain our patience with AG and Muji. And I think we're going to see, personally, I think the Sauce contract, the Sauce trade is going to age well. Because I think one of the things, like, I noticed, man, and I don't, maybe quietly in the back of our minds, we all think about it. But it's like every time Sauce is tackling somebody and he has to tackle somebody, it's like he's concussed or 100%. He hurts his shoulder or, he's out for a couple of plays at a minimum. So it's like this dude is a little fragile. This is the NFL. You got to hit, So AG wants someone that can hit. Azaria does that. So does Stevens does that. You know what I mean? So
Jarvis Brownlee does that. He thumps.
Does really well. Exactly. So that's we kind of know now the kind of players that he wants. He wants hard hitting. So I think if Quinn wanted out, his brother knew that he wanted out. You know what I mean? So his brother either going, I don't know how that's going to work, man. That's really a tricky situation because on the reality of it, man, I like Sherwood, I do, but I think Quincy's the better linebacker in my opinion. You know what I mean? So that's going to be tough, but we can't win them all. But I think we're going to see what he can do with these picks, man. We do need that. Yeah, everybody's stating the right thing in terms of like needing a quarterback. We absolutely, but I mean, what franchise doesn't? You don't win without it,
right? And
I still think like we should maybe I don't know who they like in the top of the, depending on where we're drafting. I'm hoping Daniel Jones turns back into a pumpkin and we got like maybe 2 top 10 drafts.
That'd be
crazy.
Nice. Hey, all right.
That'd be crazy, but that's probably a fantasy. But anyhow, like a dream. But I still wish that we get a quarterback. But I don't know, man. This kid from Penn State, I just got a feeling about him. Like I feel like
a good feeling.
Yeah, a good feeling. I feel like
there's something there. Too. Yeah.
You see, I feel like there's something there, and maybe with the right coaching, having him sit, so having him sit and then not having to play, I think that might be a good thing. And so I
And they
feel
said he
like
won't be a first-round pick either. Drew Beatty told us he might be, who knows where he could go. He could go in the middle of the draft
absolutely,
or something. So it could be
yeah,
a nice dart throw. Yeah.
yeah, drop back a little bit, scoop him up, get two quarterbacks and two young quarterbacks, let them battle it out, and say, hey, one of y'all gonna make this squad, one of y'all gonna get traded, for some hill of beans. I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
And it's funny because I do have the same two jerseys that you got behind you. Actually, I got the black Quinnen, but I got that white sauce, bruh. I ain't buying no jerseys for a minute, man.
Oh,
I told my wife, I said, I ain't buying no jerseys for a minute. My wife was like, wait, because she has the same jersey as well. And she's like, what jersey I'm gonna? Oh, I still got Garrett.
That's
yeah,
what I said.
Garrett.
I just told my fiance yesterday. She's like, "I'm never buying a jersey again." And I went like, "We still have Garrett, honey. He's not going anywhere." And she doesn't believe me now anymore. So it's hard to blame her. Yeah.
Hey, man, this is the thing that we've always asked for, though, right? We've asked for real leadership, right? We've asked for a coach to lead. We've asked for a GM to do the GM thing, right?
Yeah.
And we don't see the vision right now, but like that's because we don't see it. That doesn't mean that they don't, So
Right.
I have to trust in AG and Muji, and they're not making stupid deals. Like you said, like I thought as well when I saw Sauce get traded, I'm like, the fuck, this dead cap is gonna kill us now. We just killed our own bag for the offseason to go get some other decent players, but nope, because Muji cooks.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that minimum. What is it, like 11 this year and or 8 this year, 11 next year,
Yeah,
like
100%.
something crazy like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's phenomenal, bro, for a caliber
Yeah.
player like that you're getting away for Sauce and 2 first-round picks. Like, not for nothing, man, but I'm gonna have to trust in these dudes, and we knew that it wasn't gonna be overnight. It's the thing is we wanna build a team and also win at the same time. We can't do both, man. We got to build a team, and they're building a team. And we just got to find that quarterback. If we do, it's going to be a problem for the league.
Can't wait.
I appreciate you, BG, man. Hey, and I hope your son had a happy birthday, bro. I was thinking about you guys, and I hope he had an amazing first birthday. And then many, 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 many more to come with God's blessings, bro. So.
Thanks, bro.
Enjoy your family,
appreciate
bro.
that so much. And same to you and your family. I'm going to be honest, he didn't see much of Dad yesterday. I was in the middle of trade deadline action. So every time they thought they were going to do like a little cake or party thing, I'm like, geez, another player got traded. Sorry, honey. So actually saw like none of me, unfortunately. But shout out to my son. Salute to my son, old Sonny. Sorry, man. You were born into this, pal. This is just how it is. This is what it is. By the way, I'd be remiss. Obviously, we're talking trade deadline and all that stuff. Just for a moment before we get back to the phone lines, I just want to throw this up on the screen. You guys may have heard about it, may not have. This was the service yesterday for Nick Mangold. I'll go full screen on this here in a second. Here it is. This was the memorial service for Nick Mangold yesterday. Over 400 people gathered, media people, former players, coaches. Darren Mucci was here as well. People gathered to pay their respects to Nick Mangold and honoring his life and legacy. You can rewatch the memorial service if you guys missed it. I was in the middle of Jets trade deadline. I was just able to tune in as they were, sharing some love and things of that nature. Is a couple of pictures you can see on the left there. That's Nick Mangold's family, his wife and 4 children, and on the right, that is Nick Mangold when he was inducted into the New York Jets Ring of Honor. Beautiful service from everything that we saw, and again, rest in peace to 74 forever. Tragic loss in the middle of all of this, and we had that to start the day, and then of course all the crazy ass trades and stuff. So it's just unbelievable. But I just want, again, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention it. I just wanted to make sure we send it out there. That 74 forever. We'll always be thinking about you, buddy. And again, our love is sent out to your family. There's been a lot of great stories shared on Nick Mangold, and like I continue to say, I don't want us to just talk about Nick Mangold because he passed away and then we forget about Nick Mangold. I want to remember Nick Mangold forever 74. I want on a random, December 4th. I hope someone calls in and says, I got this great Nick Mangold story. Tell it to me. I want to hear it till the cows go home. Like, can you believe this, by the way? Random thing here. Yesterday, we were talking about top 5 Christmas movies, and then today we're talking about top 5 Jets that are traded. What the hell? What the hell happened? Unbelievable. All right, anywho, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We get 650 plus people in the room. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, baby. Also, hit the like button on the video. We've got so many people watching on the YouTube. Make sure you guys are liking the video. It's right there. It's the free way to contribute to this gosh darn program. Keep those likes coming. That's how this Jet Show gets in front of other fellow Jet fans out in the universe. Up next, Johnny Boy here on the program. Johnny?
BG, good morning, bro. Yeah, first off, man, yeah, real talk, like rest in power to Nick Mangold. It was a really nice service, man. Shout out to Alan Faneca and everything that he was talking about. When you say, I hope people call in and talk about some like good memories of Nick Mangold, that's exactly what Alan Faneca was doing. He was talking a story about where I forgot who it was, but him and another Ohio player were sleeping in their suits and were into McDonald's, and Nick was like, yeah, we're getting ready to go to church and everything, but they had like an all-nighter bender just to still be able to make it to their next practice or whatever it was, because they had to develop it. So it was hilarious, man. So he was up there rocking his hat backwards, and so it was pretty awesome, man, to be able to see that. And how many people were there, right? I mean, you saw Darrell Rivas. As much as I do not like Fitz, because I don't, right? I really don't, never have, and everything. Real dope what he did up there, being able to read some of the from the Bible itself yesterday and speak on there. So it was awesome. So shout out to, I think it was St. Vincent's, if I'm not mistaken, the church.
I believe so, yes. And I believe also it is able, I can't confirm this 100%, but I do believe they mentioned that it can be rewatched, the service. So you guys should be able to, I believe, rewatch that video service of yesterday, the New York Jets on their official website. So if you go to newyorkjets.com, there should be a link to that stream, which should be able to be replayed. So hopefully you guys can check that out for those who did not get to catch it live. But I believe it was St. Vincent's. Yes.
Yeah. So it was pretty awesome that to be able to kind of share that with the Jets fan base, the Ohio dude, seeing AJ Hawk up there, bro. That dude was balling, man. Seeing that as well yesterday. So just to see how much Nick impacted so many people's lives just shows you not only the football player, but the man he was, the father that he was, the brother he was, and things like that. So good person, man. Gone too soon, man. So rest in power, dog.
doubt.
But
100%.
yesterday, man, bro, I love the trades, man. First off, giant shout out to the Jets organization in regards to keeping everything in house, bro.
Yeah.
This a few years ago was not even a few years ago, last year, right? This would have gone out like that quick, right? People would have been leaking out, to the fact that Connor Hughes says something to the sense of like, you want to be cool with people and stuff like that. I know people that know this other guy and this, and he's like, to keep your name in the media good and all that. Bro, Aaron Glenn, Muji, they don't give two craps about that. They're like, nah, we're moving in silence. Who would have thought that they're not only make that move with Sauce Gardner, right, but have been in talks, and just the Colts kept just going at it, and none of that was reported. Has not been reported. It just shows you how they're trying to change this culture that they continue to keep talking about.
And it was the good and the bad, Johnny. It was so the good, right? So trade negotiations, the things are bubbling, the Sauce thing or this, that, or the other. We got nothing on any of that was happening. So the good stuff. And then the bad stuff. Quinn apparently requested a trade 3 different times from the New York Jets, and we didn't hear shit until he's in Dallas. So that could have totally destroyed his trade value that, oh, wow, this guy's trying to fire his way out of town. We didn't hear a zip and pip about that. That's, again, to your point, closing off the leaks and AG and Mooj running a tight ship. We didn't hear diddly about that.
Yeah. And I know that it sucks with the Sauce situation because he is a homegrown. Everybody loves Sauce, and I get that piece of it as well. Quinnen, same thing, but the fact of the matter is we kept losing even with them.
That's true.
To get what we have right now for them, for the potential future, they just got to hit. At the end of the day, they have to hit. And do I trust that they're going to? I mean, so far from what they've showed me, I think so. That's why I was never on the boat of AG firing him right now. Muji, get rid of him right now. They're trying to correct something that's been so bad for so long. And if I'm being honest with you, bro, they let Sauce and Quinnen go for the benefit of themselves as players, bro. All they've ever known is losing, and that does something to you. And the Quincy situation, didn't we bring in the other Williams brother in too to try to give him a chance?
Yes, Gio worked out. He did not make the team, but he did work out. He was invited to the team's rookie mini camp and came in for a workout. He did not make the team, but he did. He was around the team for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. So, right, like the Jets organization, we're trying to do stuff for the Williams brothers to make them, just like I feel like the Justin Fields situation was to make Garrett, who was, he was unhappy in regards to everything was going, and was like, hey, let's just bring him back with his college guy and see for what it is. There's a lot of upside with Justin Fields, hopefully, that we could get, but it just hasn't worked out. And it is what it is right now. So now you have how many first rounders in the next 2 years?
5. They have 5 first rounders. Let me put off the scrolling ticker so you guys can see it on the screen. Here are the Jets' notable draft picks over the next 2 years. Shout out to NFL on Fox. They have 5 first round picks and they have 2 second round picks, which are coming up here. Their 2 first round picks in 2026 are their own and the Colts. The Colts look really good, so that's probably going to be the near the end of the first round, near the bottom of the first round. They have the Cowboys second now. Sauce Gardner went to sleep 1-7, woke up 7-2, so he's doing great. Quinnen, the Cowboys just lost again to the Cardinals, so he's still on a shitty team, but maybe they can turn it around. God bless. So that second round pick could be really good this year, upcoming for the Jets from the Cowboys. And then 2027, the Jets have their own first round pick. They have the Colts first round pick, and they have whichever pick from the Cowboys will be better, like the better pick. So, like if one picks 5, one picks 20, the Jets get the 5th overall pick versus that one. That is either Green Bay's or Dallas's. So in 2027, whichever one is a better pick for the Jets, that's the one that they get. So yeah, the Jets are fucking loaded. Yeah.
And the other thing too that's not being talked about, I know that a lot of people were saying that we were going to have a whole bunch of holes, but I felt like they still filled them up. Yes, he's not Quinnen and Mozzie Smith, right? But when he was coming out of Michigan a couple of years ago, we were all about this kid, wanting him to be on this team and everything. Now you got a first rounder that's still on his rookie deal, if I'm not mistaken, that you could potentially, if he turns out to be something with this defensive coaching staff, it could be a potential steal. You got a guy in AD now that I don't know if you guys know, but he was the teammate of Arian Smith. So I wonder how much Arian Smith had of a. Tanner had a conversation with dude and was like, "Hey, what's the deal with AD? Because bro, did that not feel like a draft day moment?" And David Putney or whatever his name was.
Yeah. All right, we're close on the deal. Mutes the phone. All right, who else do we need? Putney, get Putney. All right, we want Putney. Where did that come from? It doesn't matter where it comes from. Give us Putney. So yeah, it felt like in all these deals, Mozzie Smith, Adonai Mitchell, even John Mechie and that other trade, like all of them, it seems like they did that. Hey, that worked for me. These are young kids. They may flame out. They may work out. They may just be mid. I don't know. But I think they're worthy dart throws to take for a Jets team that's going to need people to play snaps. John Mechie III, he's going to get snaps. Adonai Mitchell, he's going to get snaps. Quinnen Williams gone. Mozzie Smith's going to get snaps. So they're going to have opportunities to see what these kids have, if something or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So So it is something. Yeah. Does it suck that we might not win another game for the rest of the year? I don't know. Maybe they bring in these guys and they're getting rid of the guys that have had this loser mentality for such a long time that it might spark something else. And you got these young bucks that are playing for something. You got players that are going to play for contracts because they're potentially not going to be here next year and they have something to play for itself. So I know that I'm not trying to be like, super positive with the green glasses on and all of this, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know, man. Dude, all I know is that the wide receiving room looks a lot better now than what it was a week ago.
Sure.
If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
So it's intriguing to see what they're doing. I'm intrigued to see what he continues. Over 100 mil in cap next year for us now. That's including all of the dead cap money that's going to hit us from Aaron Rodgers. I think
Mosley, a bunch of other
exactly.
guys. Yeah, Sauce will have some too. Yep.
So these guys are doing stuff that I don't think we've seen a movement like this in a very, very long time. I don't remember the last time we had something like this that we have been able to move the way we're moving right now. So can they repeat the whole Chad Pennington, drafting
the four horsemen, baby? Anthony Beck, Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington. You're damn straight. Can we get that? Gotta hope so.
And the other thing, then it's my last.
Yeah.
The fact that they got rid of all of the defensive players that they did, which was eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I know a lot of people, we have a whole bunch of talent and everything like that. Did they truly value the talent that we had on this team itself enough to be like, let's really, you know what I mean? So because not for nothing, I did see Quinnen a lot of the times huffing and puffing, bro, just constantly. Right. You would have to take some plays off. Now I love Quinnen Williams, top 5 cat. Everything in regards to what you want as a DT itself, but it just didn't work with us, man. We've been losing with him in the games, so
we can lose without him.
Exactly.
It's hopefully we win without him. I mean, that'd be great too. But Johnny, I appreciate all the insights, brother. Thanks for calling in.
Peace, BG.
There he is, Jets Worldwide, wide. Make sure you guys check out that YouTube channel, all one word. A couple of things, and we'll get to another caller here. I don't know about you guys, but I think that this could be a rallying point. Now, again, the Browns stink. Okay, I'm not going to pretend like this is if the Jets beat the Browns, it's some massive upset or something on Sunday. But I could totally see the Jets saying, hey, man, we've got our guys. Like, it could go two ways, right? Sauce and Quinnen being jettisoned, right? The defense is worse today than it was yesterday. That's just the truth. You lose two very talented players who are the straws that stir the drink on your defense. But, like, the Jets won without Sauce this past 2 weeks ago, I guess, with the bye week too, against Cincinnati, and they've played games without Quinnen before. So, like, the fact I'm not just writing off that they're gonna lose. Now, that Cleveland Browns defense is really good. Myles Garrett is awesome. He had 5 sacks against New England, and they're coming off their bye too. The defense is really good, but Dylan Gabriel is meh. He's mid. So let's see what happens, man. So I'm not writing off just a bunch of losses coming for the Jets now. Again, they're going to have to do it in new ways now, losing some of those key defensive players. But, I don't think the Jets just roll over and they're 1-16. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe they come out super flat and they give up and they're like, this season doesn't matter. Maybe they do. I don't know on Sunday, but I don't know. I got a different vibe. We'll see if it's true. Again, we got 700 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Liking the video on YouTube is free to do. It helps get this Jet show in front of other Jet fans out there in the universe. And again, we're trying to make an epic chase to 10,000 subscribers. So every subscription helps. That's youtube.com/BOYGREEN25. Let's go. Let's get to 10K as quickly as possible. All right. Next caller up, a fellow Jets content creator extraordinaire. His name is Ricky New York Live. What's up, Ricky?
What's happening, Paul? And trade deadline turned out to be crazy. Right before the wire too. 2 massive trades. And I gotta say, when Sauce got traded, I was absolutely shocked. I think all of us were. Nobody saw that coming, but the deal was too good to pass up. And I heard the Jets insisted on AD Mitchell being included in that. Like that wasn't something the Colts really proposed, but the Jets pushed for. And so they obviously saw something in him. But the more I thought about this trade and both of the trades, the more I liked it. And last night in a video, Connor Rogers said, when is the last time Sauce had a game like the one JC Horn had against us? And the answer is never. And he said, as good as Sauce is, the fact that he never turns the ball over, compare him against, Surtain and JC Horn and even Stingley. And it's a big difference. And listen, both of those guys were very good players and they were both great people. And it sucks to see, good character guys like that go. But the fact is, Sauce didn't turn the ball over. Quinnen wasn't splitting double teams and living in the backfield like he was, when we went to Lambeau that time. Like he was phoning it in. Like he was tired of being here. And, so we got rid of a corner that doesn't really allow catches, but never turns the ball over. And a defensive tackle that anchored the line that, has been the worst against the run in the league for the last couple of years straight. Like, dude, I'm tired of seeing everybody, and not just their workhorse, but their backup, some Samaje Perine or something coming in and just ripping off long runs on us. I mean, we weren't as talented as those two guys were. It wasn't translating to wins. And I'm not going to completely bag on Sauce because, remember back before there was Darrelle Revis, there was Nnamdi Asomugha. And for young kids wanting to Google that and look it up, good luck spelling it. But dude, he was like the best there was. And then he switched teams to a different system and he sucked. He completely disappeared. And so just because Sauce is an elite, zone corner, he's a kind of man corner. And when you heard AZ being drafted, Glenn was like, go up there and just choke your guy out and do your thing. You fit exactly what we want to do. And that's the other thing too, is people were like, oh, the locker room's not going to be happy. I was like, listen, I can tell you for a fact that Jermaine Johnson is not going to be upset that his former teammate and his friend that he knows, Azaria Thomas, is going to be stepping into Sauce's role. I'm sure he hates to see Sauce gone, but I'll tell you right now, Jermaine's probably got the utmost confidence in AZ. And he did a good job. And one last thing, have you ever gone to the ESPN website during a game where you look at the game cast and it's just words? It just says pass incomplete. But dude, that doesn't tell you why the pass was incomplete. Right. And just to push back a little bit on what Kevin said about the stats for AD Mitchell, dude, I was watching some of his film last night, and oh my God, he gets overthrown over and over again. He probably should have a couple more touchdowns if the ball was on target. So, I know you can look at stats and say, oh, he had 10 targets, but only 2 catches. But, if 5 of those are hideous overthrows, that makes a difference. AD Mitchell actually is one of the league leaders in average separation. This kid get open. The fact that, taking that plus the fact that the Jets really pushed to get him, I think they saw something in him. I think they can get something out of him. And I like that. And as much as I hate to see the other guys go, think about what they just did. Not only do we have all that cap room, but with 2 firsts and 2 seconds this year, we're in position to have another Sauce, Garrett, Jermaine, and Breece draft. Because one of those 2-2s, especially our number 2 at pick 35, you can easily jump back up into the end of the first round with that one. And so we could, not only could we have another draft like the Garrett and Jermaine draft this year, but we can have another one the following year with what they've done. We could have back-to-back drafts that are like that big, that impactful. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lie, as I thought about it and I got more excited, because you say what you want. If you try to tell me that AG and Muji are not setting this team up for the future to be not just winning for this year, but winning long-term, like you're in denial. You know, that's all there is to it. Those are people who just hate AG because he rubs them the wrong way, and they're not going to like anything he does. But
yeah,
dude,
I would just add on your Adonai Mitchell point for Chef Kev. I didn't want to stop his flow. He seemed to have some momentum going on there. But on Adonai Mitchell, here's the other thing: he hasn't been able to get on the field since he made that mistake in Week 4, the fumble that everyone talks about. I even talked about it as an initial point. They haven't played him as much. And think about all the weapons on Indianapolis: Tyler Warren, my guy, Warren Warrior, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr. You start going through all the guys.
Alec Pierce.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the other one I forgot. He was buried on the depth chart, and he was a high draft choice, so he still has 2.5 years of cheap team control. And the Jets this year, outside of Garrett Wilson, have a bunch of randos. I hope they move on from Alan Lazard. I don't want to see him on the field. I'd rather see Arian Smith. I want to see John Mechie III. I want to see hopefully Jelani Woods. And speaking of Colts, former Colts, I'd love to see him get some action on the field. Like, let's play some of these young cats. So I don't know if stats are a fair way to judge Adonai Mitchell. I think he's a young player that we're going to get a real chance to evaluate here through the back half of the season. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I did some research on him when he was coming out, and at Texas, I mean, he had some really nice catches, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can, get something out of him or not. But dude, I love all the draft picks. I love the way that they've set us up for the future, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, I got on the mock draft simulator thing last night with all those new picks to play with, just to see. And man, this could turn out really, really well for us. And the other thing is when I did my mock, as soon as I got to that first pick, which was number 3 overall, I get a trade offer from the Browns wanting to trade me 6 and 19 overall to move up their 2 first-round picks. And I'm like, hell, Reuben Bain and Carnell Tate went 1 and 2. Like, all the quarterbacks are still there. I could move back 3 spots and still get a quarterback and have another first-round pick. Like, I mean, yeah, we've set ourselves up really well for the future. And like I said, I hate to see those guys go.
Of course.
But if you take emotion out of it, this was a brilliant move. And hey, man, Muji's got balls of steel. Muji and AG to do this at this time, like, man, that's gutsy. It really is. That is a bold move. But if this thing pays off, a year from now, we might be going, damn, remember that trade deadline when we got rid of those 2 guys we loved so much, but it turned out to be the best thing we could have done, and it changed this whole franchise and turned things around. This could be the day that everything truly started to turn. I think we're going to look back on this day and go, you know what? That's the day that beam of hope started fucking through for us and gave us something to look forward to.
Hey, we can only hope. And hey, to your point of balls of steel for Muji, him and AG are putting all the pressure on themselves. They're saying, yeah, Sauce and Quinn were pretty good, but we're going to use those picks and we're going to make it this, the next quarterback, the next this, the next that. And that I respect. This will be their team. This will define the next decade of Jets football. And we'll see what that means. 2 things here, Ricky. First off, glad to see that you're doing even better. I don't want to put all your business out there in the universe, but that was scary to see. So I'm happy to see you're doing better. And number 2, come on, you got to plug the greatest Jets YouTube channel of all time, Ricky New York Live, baby.
Absolutely. And I will have a video dropping later this afternoon all about these trades and the draft pick compensation that we got and what that can mean for this organization moving forward. And why this is actually a big positive, and this should give fans a reason to have something to look forward to.
There we go. We can only hope. Ricky, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. And guys, make sure to check out his channel, Ricky New York Live on YouTube. Let's go back to the phone lines. You got more calls. How about them Jets?
Hey, Boy Green, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Just wanted to jump on really quick. I listen to the show almost every day.
Thanks, man.
You're doing a good job. And as far as the trades yesterday, I feel like, me personally, in my own opinion, I feel like in order to be successful, you need people with like clever mindset. And I feel like yesterday we're seeing some of that with Muji trading these two guys and acquiring these picks. And hopefully what they do with the picks moving forward is going to be more important than getting rid of these guys now. So just wanted to come on, say that. And while I'm here, I'll give you a glimpse of this guy, if you can see this.
All right, let me see. Let me go full screen here. Okay. Oh, yeah, look at there.
I was wondering, I was like, do I have to take Breece down? Or do I keep him up if he's traded? So
now you get to keep him up.
He's still with the team. So
amen.
Can't wait to see what they do in the upcoming draft with these picks, and hopefully, we can hit on at least the first 2 rounds of these players. So
amen.
Good luck with what you're doing, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling in. And man, sweet man cave you got cooking over there. How about them Jets? How about them Jets? Oh, baby. Nice. Nice movie screen. I love the green neon lights behind you. Oh, that's a nice touch. Cooking. Okay. I'm jealous. Absolutely jealous of what we got going on here. Oh, he's showing more. Oh, let me see some of this. Yeah, please. Oh, look at this.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to enjoy being down here by myself.
Yeah.
Because it's just not happening for us. But
sure, right. Oh, wow.
I've invested in this team enough, so hopefully they can start winning. So we can get some payback. Yep.
Look at that. Well, great setup, buddy. And thank you so much for watching the show and calling in. That's awesome to meet you, man.
All right. Take care, Boy Green.
All right, you too, pal. Appreciate it. Wow. Okay, I'm jealous of that man cave. That's for damn sure. Well, everybody, what a fun show. 2+ hours here on the channel. Again, like the video, whether you're watching live or after the fact. We appreciate the support. That's a free way to contribute. If you'd like, tell a friend. Again, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if all of us, we have 8,000 subscribers plus, each of us tell a friend that doesn't know about the channel, booyah, we're at 16,000 or some math of that, I guess. I don't know. But feel free to spread the gospel on all things Boy Green Daily. In an hour and 20 minutes, I'm going to grab breakfast real quick, and then I'm coming right back here, grab breakfast here in the house, cooking it up real quick, because at 11 o'clock, it's me. It's Manchild. It's PFF NFL analyst Dalton Wasserman. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be breaking down more of this Jets trade craziness at the NFL trade deadline. And plus, we have an extra juicy special guest. A former All-Pro will be joining us on the show today, someone who's never been on the show before. That'll be a bonus interview for folks of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which, again, if you go into the YouTube description down below, that's our YouTube membership group. Some bonus interview coming with a former All-Pro that's never joined me on the show before. He will react to all this Jets trade craziness. That'll come out in the early afternoon. We also have a Jake Asman interview coming out on the channel. That will be coming out later today. Good Lord have mercy. There is a lot of content, and the content king is here, baby. Let's go. Jets, Jets. Again, let's give a couple of big salutes. Sauce Gardner, and I'm sure this won't be the final time we say this, but you were an All-Pro. I loved having you on the team. Your jersey is hanging there in honor of you guys. Quinnen Williams, a great Jet. Sucks how it ended for both, quite frankly, but hopefully the ghosts of you guys will be represented in those draft picks that can hopefully turn this godforsaken franchise around, and hopefully we can find our quarterback. And as Ricky says, hopefully this could be a fateful day in Jets history that we look back on and remember forever as a day that ignited the Jets turnaround. And hopefully we can lead to that path. So Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn, our fate is in your hands now. Please turn this around. God bless. Again, shout out to the 700 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We'll see you back at 11 o'clock for some more New York Jets conversation. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats here on the show real quick. Don't want to miss any of you guys. Okay, I think I got everybody. Yes, okay, all the super chats are through. So, again, quick shout out to MFC, Easy, NC Green, Austrian Jet Fan, That Kid to It, Mahar Khalil, Troy Sturgis, Mahar Khalil again, and Frankie for sending in all your super chats and memberships, baby. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in a bit. Take care, and see you next.